Hello and welcome to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I'm here joined alongside a Tro. How you doing today, man?
Hey, what's up? Hello, Rome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having the NECC as well. And I'm doing great. Can't wait to see these two teams go at it. And well, I'm pretty excited to see how many of our fans we got in the chat as well. How many people we're looking on to please tonight in this best of three.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. It's definitely going to be some fierce competition, especially since both of these squads coming into this one are 0-0 tonight. We are going to have McMaster Maroon going up against the Fanshawe Falcons. And I mean, as I said, both these squads coming in 0-0, really looking to get a strong start off in this league right here, right now.
Exactly, they are, and they are in the Champions Division. They are at the tippity top of the NECC coming up here in week 2, and it's actually season 2. So there's a lot of hope to be had. There's a lot of colleges looking at it and being like, okay, these guys might be our next competition. We have to watch out for what they're trying to pull off here. And well, I don't know much about these guys, but I do have some facts about them. I do kind of have a bit of what we're about to see, a bit of info, as you say.
Okay.
So
I like it.
I
I like it.
wonder,
I
I
mean,
wonder what we'll get.
I mean, honestly, I mean, both of these squads, we don't know too much about them, but that's the thing is that they don't know too much about each other as well. So I'm expecting the bans to be a lot of situations where it's like, I personally don't like playing against this. So just in case you
Hmm.
play this, I'm going to ban it out because you really don't know what these teams are, what their comfort picks are and all that good stuff, what they're actually good at and what you're fine with them choosing, things like that. But I mean, it's going to be a feeling out process for sure in this best of 3. They're going to be figuring it out quick what these one tricks are for these players and all these things like that. It's going to be pretty fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. And while we do have a bit of downtime until we get into the lobby, do all that nifty stuff, I guess we could run through our. I was about to say loadouts, our lineups, right?
Yeah. I mean, we could check out the lineups for these squads for sure. We just got to see exactly who all is going to be lining up across the rift today. And as you guys can see, for the Fanshawe Falcons, we're going to have Satek, I believe, and 8 Yin. Yeah, Satek, there we go. 8 Yin, Boone, Red Luma, and Sean 003. So shout out to this squad, coming in. I mean, they got, 4 freshmen and 1 junior. So, I mean, hey, with 4 people that are brand new, this squad, at least one thing that they know is that for the future, they have something that they can build on for the next 4 years.
All right, and it looks like Boone here is trying to gain up some experience here in the video game design department. I love it. I'm all in for it as well as 8yen is in the computer programming and analysis along with Sean. I like what I'm seeing. It's a very diversified team, which I didn't really expect. Like, a back student and like an automotive service technician going in with like these very IT heavy people like actually making a connection and deciding, hey, let's make the Fanshawe Falcons, right? So let's see how that goes. But I am also excited for the Maroons coming up here for the McMaster Maroons because on this side we've got Danny Boy, we've got Hakone, we got Shah Azi, we got Jaeger, and we got Swift Slug, all coming up here. 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot more seniority, if you will, on this squad. So they're going to be a lot more experienced. Have that age factor on their side for sure. And I mean, anything. One thing's for sure is that this McMaster squad, this is actually their team's first time in this league. So even though they have a couple of seniors, a couple of juniors, not sure exactly how much experience they have coming into this one. So who knows? Maybe the young guns will be able to shock this McMaster squad today.
Right. And I do have that information that I talked about you beforehand. I talked to you about beforehand. It looks like Swift Slug over here has played League since all the way back since preseason 3. He used to be a Riven one trick, mained all the roles besides jungle. So maybe he is the anchor that we have to watch out for. Maybe he's playing something along the lines of an ADC, a mid laner, or a top laner. Somebody that has a lot of pressure down into this game, and maybe he is one of the people that we have to watch out for.
Yeah, and another one that we'd probably gonna have to watch out for is Shazi. I mean, you look at him. I mean, he's sophomore coming in. He's the youngest on the squad, so he's got a lot to live up to. And you talk about interesting facts. I mean, he said that once during a road trip, he once stared at the sun to see how long he could do it before it started to hurt when he was 9. And I mean, I don't know if that's going to come into effect today, where he's going to be, missing a few things that happened in the corner of the screen on the map, or I don't know. That might have hurt him a little bit coming into today. But I mean, who knows? Hopefully, he'll be all right and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tried that when I was younger as well. I don't think I managed to go past like 5 seconds, but I still tried it. I think we all did.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we've all been there before for sure. So it should be pretty soon that we are going to be hopping into this one, which is going to be a good one, as we said. I mean, we get to see who's going to be coming out in this series early and really trying to make a statement right now, as we're going to be hopping into the bands right now. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay, so both teams are deciding, okay, we're gonna start out with a Senna ban. I like the Senna ban. It's been pretty OP, even though they've kind of taken out Glacial Augment and inputted that first strike. Senna first strike is absolutely just hideous. I don't like seeing it. It's so broken right now that it gives me shivers.
Yeah, I mean, Sin is definitely one of those picks where it's like, okay, if you pick it and you're good at it, it's going to be a problem on the map. So they said, you know what, just in case, we're going to get her out of here. Same with Gwen. I mean, literally the exact same thing could be said about Gwen. So no shot getting her out of there. Definitely a common ban in my solo queue games as well.
Oh, interesting ban coming in here from Sean, going in with the Akali ban. Now, Akali, we all know that she's had a pretty down stage coming up here for the past few seasons, and now finally in season 12, we see a bit of a resurgence. We see her kind of start to back up. We see her kind of going in for those ADCs, finally managing to build lethality and showing some promise on some OTPs. I absolutely loved playing Akali back in the day as well, so I'm glad that I'm seeing her back up here, but now it's gonna be a ban.
Yeah, unfortunate for sure. And then we got Graves and Lulu also. I mean, Graves, I mean, we know how lethal he can be once it gets to late game, just constantly in fights, just tons of sustain in him. And then Lulu, of course, she's able to just keep everyone alive forever, turn fights around, just in literally a matter of milliseconds. Lulu is just such a good character, and I mean, I'm not surprised to see this champion banned out whatsoever.
Yeah, neither am I, but also I'm not surprised of seeing the Zeri ban. Zeri has been absolutely making her rounds through solo queue, through flex, through tournaments, and this time through the collegiate scene as well. Absolutely demolishing every single ADC she's been up against. But the same can be said about the first pick that we have here from Sean. It's going to be the Zilean. If this Zilean goes mid, my heart will be so happy. I will see the cheese being used up here with ability haste, and the enemy team will cry. I'm 100% sure of it.
I mean, that's the great thing about the Zilean, is that it's a flex pick. So if you're on the other side, you don't specifically know where it's going to be going. That's the great thing about it. And, with the Lulu ban, I mean, hey, they're saying, you know what, you're not going to be able to save your ADC at the last second, but maybe I will with the Zilean pick. Who knows? It might be going to the support side. That'd be my guess, at least for now, just because of the Lulu ban, but we'll just have to wait and find out. I mean, Jarvan coming out on the other side as a jungle pick, it's definitely going to be strong for sure, as they're going to be looking to get pretty aggressive early on.
Yeah, that Cataclysm is gonna do a lot of damage during team fights, and the same can be said about Sona, along with her ultimate, Shahzil. Shahzi picking up here the Sona for the support. I don't know, is Shah actually playing the support?
We have no idea. I'm ready to find out. Either way, we're going to know when we load up into the game. That's all that really matters. I mean, hey, when you look at this, they've already got a lot of ways to shut you down. A lot of CC coming out. Sona with her ultimate, as you stated. Jarvan with his ult as well. I mean, it's a lot of damage early on going to be coming out, but the Viego going to be locked in on this side. Oh, this is going to be getting really spicy. I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of utility coming up here right now for the Financial Falcons, and they're kind of saying like, okay, we've got sustainability, we've got a Zilean ultimate, we've got Viego to steal away all those good ultimates coming in from Jarvan, from Sona, from whatever else Trapper might choose here, and then we got the Kindred going in here, either probably jungle. I haven't seen a Kindred ADC since like when she first got out, but
this is like starting to become like a protect the cog comp in a way. You already have the Zilean, you have the Kindred, you have a lot of ways to stay alive once you get to 1 HP. So now we're going to be seeing the Vex picked up, it looks like. So they are going to be having a little bit of one-shot power coming out now. I mean, Whew. So far, I'm liking the Fanshawe draft overall just because they have a lot of protection heading into their bot lane picks. And now with the bans coming through, we get to see how McMaster's thinking.
Yeah, but that means that Fanshawe are focusing themselves onto one single carry, and if they're trying to go with this protect comp, let's hope that their main ADC carry or main mid carry, who knows, maybe we'll get to see an AP carry come out here, is not going to be banned away here. But the first ban is going to come up with a Mundo, and the second is going to be a Volibear. So we're going up with the top trades here, trying to poke each other out, see what's up in the mind of McMaster right now.
I mean, I like that. With Volibear and Mundo getting out the picture, it looks like we are going to get a little bit more volatility in the top lane, which is something that we're excited about because, I mean, let's be honest, nobody wants to see, a Mundo versus an Ornn or something like that. That's no fun. We want to get the action popping. I want to see some Fiores, I want to see some fun out there. And we're also going to be getting the Corki out the way, as that is a super hyper scaling champion. And, I mean, if you can let that one scale up to late game, package comes through, it can be GG's for you really quick.
Yeah, but when I see a Corki pick, just my mind immediately goes onto something like a TF, an Orianna, something that has a lot of possibility to outrange champions that usually go in the mid lane that Corki would be picked up against. So let's see what Jaeger actually chooses on here, or at least hovers on over.
And I mean, with the Corki pick, I mean, that would be them assuming that the Zillion's going to be as the support, I would guess, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, if that's going to be the support, what kind of mid laner are you going to be picking to go against a Vex? And I like the pick in Azir, but I mean, the skill gap with Azir is insane. Like, how good are you really feeling? That's what I want to know. I mean, hey, look, this side of Fanshawe, if you're feeling it, but no, it is going to be the Zilean, or is that Janna top? That could be the Janna top that has
Give me the Janna
so
top, please.
He's going to go with Shin. He's trolling us right now. He's pulling our heartstrings right now. There we go. It's going to be Shin locking in the top, and yet again, another way to keep you alive at the last second. And if they lock in the Taric, I mean, nah. What? Okay, this is one of the cheesiest comps I've ever seen. If my team win this in solo queue, I would be so happy. They are going to be staying alive forever at the last second of these fights. The Zilean can fully bring somebody back to life. The Kindred can keep everyone in his zone alive. The Shin can keep someone that's 1 HP forever. And the Taric can make someone else invincible. Like, I mean... Bro, like, this is a protect the Viego comp if I've ever seen it. This Viego is going to have the time of his freaking life.
Oh my god, you said it. But the thing is that anybody besides really Taric can get fed here. And onto the side of Fanshawe Falcons, I'm just loving the protect comp. I think it's got so much potential. I think the person that we have to watch out for is definitely going to be Sutek. Whereas on the other side, McMaster is thinking, okay, we kind of messed it up a bit on this draft, right? We try to go for stuff that we know we were good at, and hopefully that they're going to be able to outscale really, really well. But when do you ever get the outscaling potential? Because I think the early game is the moment that they have to watch out for. McMasters have the most chances of actually getting a lot of stuff done during the early game. After 6, everything's gonna go down. Team fights galore coming in here from Fanshawe Falcons. And late game, who do you think scales better?
I mean, late game, I don't even think it's a question. I think Fanshawe are just going to be able to absolutely destroy them when it comes to the 5v5 team fights. As you stated, I mean, it's pretty much going to be the early game for this squad in McMaster that they're going to need to hang their hat on. I mean, you got the Set, you got the Jarvan, you got the Sona, you got a lot of early damage being able to come out. I'm expecting Jarvan to look for those early ganks, trying to get his solo laners ahead, because, I mean, right now, the way things are looking is you want to try to get out to an early lead quick, because if you let this Viego even get like a 2-kill 2-0 score line at the 10-minute mark, he is going to be a problem once he hits level 11, and he's got a Shin to back him up, a Zilean to bring him back to life, a Kindred to keep him invincible, and a Taric to keep him invincible. Like, double invincibility and a revive out of this squad. It doesn't get better than that.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't, Rome. And the thing is, I like the thought process going into it from McMaster at the beginning, right? They were thinking, we got a Sona, we got a Jarvan. Now we're going for a Vex. That's our main DPS. That's our damage dealer for AP. We've got this thing just hanging on down. We know what we're doing. And for team fights, at least, we definitely have some utility. We have the Cataclysm coming in from Jarvan. We have some good CC from Sona. A lot of damage from Vex. Then they switched it up. They saw the Kindred, they saw the Tarek. They were like, "God damn, what do we do?" They chose on over the Jinx. We're like, okay, last hope here, going in for a bunch of damage onto this ADC. Hopefully, we're gonna get a Fed Jinx with like a Kraken Slayer or a Gale Force, and she's gonna be able to do work, right? And
Oh
then they just
man.
completely gave up when they gave Danny Boy the set. They were like, bro, just do something against this Shen.
I
Don't
feel
feed
like
anyone, please.
I
Just
feel like one squad picked a team comp and the other squad picked a comfort pick comp. Like I could
yeah.
see Set, Jarvan, and Vex all being just comfort picks. Not saying that they necessarily mesh well because I mean they could possibly pull together some crazy chains with Set and Jarvan, but it's going to be needing to be very coordinated. I mean, on the other side, they can essentially just run into you and click a bunch of ultimates and be fine. Like
Yeah.
it's literally going to be going to need to come down to the precision of McMaster against the madness that is going to be fighting the Fanshawe Falcons. You got to really understand who to focus, who's not ultimated. Like when Zillion's ult is up, like oh man, I'm gonna be honest. I would hate playing against this comp right here.
Oh, you're not the only one. I think anyone seeing this absolute cheese coming out would be like, ah, next game, FF15. Just, I'm not trying to do this right now. I'm trying to keep my hair on my head, right? I'm not trying to stress this thing out.
Like at
But,
this point, like what should it have been? Soraka in the jungle? Like I don't even know. I don't like looking at this. This is absolutely insane. The composition coming out of this squad. But hey, listen, the Fanshawe Falcons. Maybe it's something they tried. Maybe it just happens to be some comfort picks, and they just happen to leave them all up. So they're like, listen, you're gonna have to ban some of these invincibility champions away, or else we're gonna be using them all.
but maybe this is the ace in the hole for the Fanshawe Falcons. They're trying to come off strong. They're kind of trying to come into this first game of theirs with an absolute just draft that they've tried out before, because definitely when you go for something like this, you've practiced it before, right? In a scrim or something, you definitely know that it works. It's definitely something that attracts attention, and is definitely something that will get banned afterwards. So if you're trying to go for comfort picks, maybe say later in the NECC, then stuff like this will get banned, and your comfort picks, something like absolutely OP like a Zeri, Yasuo, just high DPS, will not be banned away, and you'll have the time of your life going in forwards.
Oh yeah, but I mean, as we said, listen, McMaster, they could roll this game if they get going early. If they get a lucky invade, something like that, and the Fanshawe Falcons just aren't ready for it, they could really start to snowball with this comp. And if that Jarvan starts to go wild in the jungle, I mean, and they start getting dragon control, I think that that might be one of the win conditions for this team is the drag control overall. Heading toward that eventual soul point could be massive for this squad specifically because, I mean, anytime that you're going to be going up a composition that can literally bring each other back to life and then keep them invincible for about, was that a combined at least like 12 seconds between Tarek and Kindred? Like that is a lot to deal with, and it's going to be fun to witness.
That's like 12 seconds with only Tarek and Kindred. Think now, somebody comes onto the Shen, another 5 seconds. Then the
Oh my
Zillion
gosh.
ultimate, another like 6 seconds. Then
Andy
just the
comes back.
Viego goes into everyone else, right? And steals just away everyone. Oh god, I don't want to even think about it. It's gonna be like 20-minute long team fights.
Literally, yeah. 20-minute. It might be longer than that. Man, it's gonna be some long. You're right. These team fights are gonna be lasting forever. Like, and I feel bad if I'm the side of McMaster because once it gets to late game, like once it's past level 11 and they're getting those ultimates back even quicker, like your team fights, you got to be looking for picks at that point. And I mean, the way this team is built, they're gonna be very well warded. They're gonna be roaming around the map well. I mean, it's going to be a very, very spicy matchup because, I mean, these two teams are polar opposites in their compositions.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. And I think this is also going to be a support game. We're going to have to watch out for the supports, and we're going to have to watch out how they're going to be playing it on just around Vision, because Vision is going to be mega important down in the jungle.
Yeah, big time. And I mean, anytime that you're playing, at this level, you want to make sure the communication's there, the rotations are there. You want to make sure that if you want to end up four-man diving top, four-man diving bot, that you're able to do it perfectly. When you take rifts, make sure it's not warded. It's the little things, it's just the little things that you got to make sure about when you're in this league. It's the first time that these squads are going to be playing. It is week 2, but it's going to be their first time as they weren't able to play last week. So I mean, anytime you're starting out, you really just want to be mistake free. Just want to make sure that you come in clean, have a nice performance, and get this 1-0 advantage.
Definitely so, definitely so. And in a few seconds, as we're gonna get into it, I just want to see an invade coming out of out of McMaster, you know, because if they start out with that invade, they have all the chances in the world to actually just win it all. I think this game could theoretically be over before we actually reach somebody getting to level 11. Like it could happen. It could happen. They have the pushing power. They have the utility that they need. It's just they need to play really, really well.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be massive plays. They're gonna need massive ganks. It's gonna need. I think it's really gonna come down to this Jarvan early on. It's gonna come down to whether the Jarvan can do enough on the map to really make enough noise against this squad in the Falcons, because the Falcons are set up for the late game. And I mean, if that Shin is gonna be up there just comfortably farming against the set, which I can see happening pretty easily. I mean, it's going to be all on the set. If he's going to be going aggressive up there, maybe he's going to be calling for some ganks. Maybe they're going to try to, pin down the Shin, maybe to keep the Shin from getting to level 6. That way the Shin can't help bot lane or things like that. I don't know what exactly McMaster are going to do, but as you said, I would expect them to come out with an early invade, simply because, I mean, you got to be pulling out all the stops right here in this one.
Oh yeah, you definitely are. And when you think Shen, you usually think Grasp, right? When you think Set, you think Conqueror. Now, this already is just not going well for McMaster, because then Shed can just stay on his lane, as we said before, farm at that XP, get to level 6 fast, and just roam about. Speaking of roaming, support Tarek also roams perfectly down to top, down to mid. He doesn't need to stay around with his ADC. He'll be all fine just by himself. That's the problem. And who is the ADC again for the Falcons? Is it actually?
I am not sure. I'm not sure. That's something we are going to have to find out together, my friend. We're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, both of these squads, either way, I mean, McMaster, they've got the Jinx in their hands. So, I mean, the Jinx going into this one, we all know the Jinx, super squishy. You really just got to play your life extremely well. You're man. It is going to be hard to avoid this squad, because if Zillion lands a double bomb, and you get caught out, it's not a whole lot that can really keep you away. Maybe the Sona can ult, but once that's down, it's gonna be flashes coming out, and you're gonna be running for your life. So I mean, if I'm the Jinx on this side, it's going to be difficult. So I mean, I would guess that the ADC on the other side is going to be the Kindred, but I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, so just
Okay.
a little bit of an update for you guys. So we had a little bit of a bug coming out from the client, so we have to really quickly redo that. We're just going to repick everything. It should be pretty fast because everyone knows what to click next. So we're all going to be getting right back into things very, very soon. So you guys just stay tuned. We'll be getting right back into the action after this short break. Hello and welcome to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I'm Rome DMV, joined alongside Atro. How you doing today, man?
Hello, hello. Well, glad to be back, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm also very, I guess, surprised by the info that we just got and that we're about to pass on to you because we had some technical issues. We couldn't quite foresee the first game between McMaster Maroon and Fanshawe Falcons, but I will tell you the results. Do you want to do the honors, room?
Listen, I'll go ahead and say it. Listen, we were talking about how the Fanshawe Falcons, how their team comp, if it went to late game, then they're going to be good to go. But listen, that one ended in about 20 minutes. It was the McMaster Maroon squad that were able to shut them down early. And I mean, they're sending us to this game number 2 very quick. And now it's a big question if you're the Fanshawe Falcons because, okay, the cheese comp didn't work. You couldn't make it to late game. Now we got to pick more of an early game composition to try to get there. So I'm excited to see if they're going to be switching things up or who knows, maybe sticking to their guns.
Yeah, but again, that whole strat that we talked about before in the first like kind of breakthrough session that we had was like, if Fanshawe Falcons pick up this cheesy ass comp, right? Now in the ban phase, do McMaster go for trying to ban off like a Zillion, trying to ban off the Taric, trying to ban off Shen, stuff like that?
I
Or
don't
do
think
they go with
so.
the same with the
Yeah,
same
I would
bans?
go with the exact same bands and say, listen, you try again. Simple as that. Like you got to pick a different comp that's going to work because we already proved we can shut this one down. So if you want to pick those same champs, by all means, pick them. Like I have no problem with you picking something that I just rolled you in. I mean, anytime that it's a 20-25 minute game, it got pretty ugly pretty quickly. So I mean, I'm expecting this squad to come out and try something new. I think they're going to let them have the same situation if they really want it. And I mean, if you're the side of Fanshawe, if you're going to be picking that same type of composition, you got to have a better plan, a way better plan to get to that late game and that mid game for sure. But we're going to be hopping right into the draft right now as we're going to be getting started. As you can see, the first ban, Zeri, going to be off the board yet again.
Oh yeah, we're going in for the same bands, and I quite like it. And definitely, if Fanshawe Falcons are going to be switching up, if McMaster Maroons, sorry, are not going to be switching up their bands, then Fanshawe Falcons definitely are. I don't believe, I don't know who really got fed that last game, but yet again, we see the Senna ban, we see the Zeri ban. I think we might actually see the Lulu ban come in, and then something like a Jarvan, or maybe even the Set. Those could be champions that kind of, yeah, the Sona, there she goes.
Okay, so maybe that was one of the annoyance factors right there. So I mean, hey, Sutek, you know, them and Fanshawe Falcons, they're gonna be banning away that Sona, saying, okay, that was one of the reasons you guys were able to get that early presence on us. And I mean, now the Zillion gonna be banned away as well. Graves gonna be rebanned. I mean, the only new ban right here now is the Zillion and the Sona on each side.
Indeed it is, and it looks like they're not really bound on by these bans. They're really more thinking of perhaps we just want to pick our comfort characters, perhaps we want to pick something that scales well with each other, and I think a Thresh is an amazing start. You can go off into so many things with Thresh. I think he's a mega balanced champion, and at this point in the meta, he is pretty damn decent as a support.
Yeah, I mean, you ban your support, I ban, or you ban my support, I ban your support, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a new one on the board. So now we get to see a Thresh for the first time in the series. I mean, this McMaster squad, I mean, they're going to be feeling extremely good coming into this one. So, you know, picking that Thresh as the first overall pick, definitely a solid one. Ooh, and a Vayne with a counter, I like it.
Yeah, the Vayne is definitely interesting if it goes top. I want to see it top as Vayne can definitely do a lot of work along that Nautilus as well. Maybe we're going to see a Vayne not bot. And if we do see that, we're going to see a lot of engages, a lot of team fights, and a lot of Gwen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there it is. We thought it was going to be a not, but last second. It's going to be the one that got banned away last time. This time it is going to slip on through, and they're going to go ahead and lock it in for the side of the Falcons. I mean, hey, anytime that something that got banned away in the game one, you're able to pick it up in game two, that's a win in my book because now you know that you got something that the other squad doesn't like.
I mean, we can't really talk about game one. We've only really seen the draft and the outcome. And now it looks like the set is going to be taken away, since that might have also been a big benefactor on over to the McMaster Maroons, winning up that first game that we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, set definitely going to be a factor on the map. I mean, anytime he's up there in that top lane, he's just able to go ahead, pick somebody up, RKO him, make them feel terrible about themselves. So, I mean, definitely going to be something to battle with severely. I'm going to be surprised if it's going to be a Gwen in the top lane or in the mid. I mean, and also Vayne is a flex as well. It could be Vayne top or Vayne bot. So, like, this is the thing about picking 2 early flexes that's really going to be catching the enemy off guard. But with the Namie locked in, I would expect it to be a Vayne Namie bot lane simply because they synergize very well.
Yeah, and the Gwen could also be jungle. I've seen them play before, and I've seen players try Gwen jungle. I've seen them actually work around it. But I am getting a bit of deja vu coming in from McMaster Maroon, picking up that Jinx Thresh. It is absolutely OP. I'm not going to undermine it. It can definitely outscale Vayne Nami. But at this point, you just want sustainable damage. You want to go... Do you want to go for yet another Protect comp with this interesting Cardus ban? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, they're looking at it right now. They've got 3 AD, so why not, go ahead and ban away one of the AP junglers? They haven't picked their jungler yet, unless it's going to be set jungle, which could be sneaky if they decide to switch it up from top to jungle. But I highly doubt that, because usually you don't see people, just straight up switch where they're going to be playing that particular champion. But I mean, either way, it's going to be the TF mid going to be banned out, and then the Jarvan jungle. So they're focusing the jungle bans right now. And now if you're the side of the McMaster, what do you pick here in the jungle?
I think you definitely pick something AP, and there's not a lot of AP champions up at the top of my head that I can think of that will go well with this comp. One of them would have to be Hecarim, though. You could definitely pull up a Hecarim or a Nunu with the team comp that you're trying to build around, maybe focus up and protect that Jinx, maybe decide to actually go forwards with team fights. And I like what I'm seeing from Fanshawe Falcons.
I mean, now
and picking up the Corki. Wow.
I mean, picking up the Corki is massive, but if I'm looking at this squad, I'm saying, okay, they're squishy. Now I'm going to pick a tank jungler, go for something AP, maybe in a Mumu, something like that can really, stall the enemies, get them nicely set up for set. But I mean, the Kiana, another AD pick. So unless they're going to be getting in a trap, it looks like I mean, he's hovered 3 different ADs. Now that's the 5th AD, and he's going to lock in with the Xin Zhao. So now we're definitely going to be seeing an AP mid coming out for sure. Well, I mean, there's no tanks on the other side yet, so...
Yeah. The AD cheese could come on through. Oh god, I want to see it. But there was that Ornn hover at the end there from Red Luma. So who knows... Oh my god, are we actually going to see an Akali come out here for the AP side?
I mean, I like it. I mean, it was banned out before, so now, picking it up here, we'll get to see... Actually, we get to see who she's going to be going up against right now, because this could... They have a lot of flex picks right now. I just want to make sure, because if they don't pick a jungler here, definitive jungler... Okay, there it is. So it is going to be the Rammus in the jungle. Thought it might still be the Gwen jungle. Maybe pick a mid laner here, but no. All right. Here we go. This is going to be it. It's going to be a good one.
This is going to be it. It's going to be a good one, but there is a considerable lack of AP champions in this game right now. There's going to be a lot of one-shots, a lot of squishy champions that I'm seeing right now, and I think it's going to be very fun going in for these objectives. Xin Zhao against Rammus. Sure, they have a lot of damage. Sure, one of them has incredible sustain, but for how long can you maintain it? For how long do you just go... Well, they're just building lethality at this point. Jinx can build lethality, Akali can build lethality, even Xin Zhao up to a point, even though he's going to go Gore Drinker.
I mean, for sure, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the Rammus, it's a solid pick into this composition for sure. He's going to be able to lock down the set sometimes, lock down the Jhin, lock down the Jinx if he can get to her. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to team coordination coming out of the Fanshawe Falcons for sure if they want to pick up this win, because, I mean, yet again, their team composition, this time is not cheesy per se, but I mean, anytime that you go with the Corki and the Vayne, you're going to need to play extremely, extremely safe simply because you do not want to get down early.
So we've been focusing down onto this top side of the Summoner's Rift, Xin Zhao, Rammus, Akali, just all of these matchups. But what do you feel about the bot side? There's Jinx Thresh versus Vayne Nami. Who has the clear advantage? Is there a clear advantage?
I don't think so. I think it's really just going to be coming down to, who's going to be playing their matchup better. I mean, both of these synergize pretty well with each other, so nothing really stands out too crazy. It's really just going to be about, can Thresh land his hooks, hit his flays, do what he needs to do, because Nami, she's pretty much just going to be there just hanging out, having a good time. So it's just going to be on the Thresh deciding how aggressive he's going to play. So I really think that the Thresh and the Jinx are going to be able to decide the momentum of the lane, but I mean, who knows? I mean, anytime that a Vayne gets rolling, like a Vayne pentakill and a Corki pentakill, are something that we see a lot more often than not.
Yeah, but think about it. Something that distinguishes great Nami players from only good Nami players is the ability to predict where that bubble will pop up. And especially when you have a matchup like Thresh, it's definitely better in the ways of the Nami, like pre 6 or even after 6 until like level 11 when Thresh starts getting real tanky and buying up that AP, you have all the advantage. You can attempt to predict the movements of the Thresh. Maybe he lands a hook, maybe you can bubble in front of him. You block out the hook, you block out the CC, you get away, and you have yet another team fight won because you played it well. Also, the vision. Thresh is going to be a jungler, a semi jungler, really. He's going to be a support that really just roams a lot around the map. Is going to be helping out Xin Zhao, trying to get that pressure up into the bot lane, up into the mid lane. And I think definitely it's going to be yet another support game where we have to watch out for this vision play because the junglers don't have all that much pressure going on for, you know, just damage on Drakes and objectives.
Yeah, I mean, Sutek as the Rammus, he's really gonna have to go off in the jungler. He's gonna have to be really helpful with his solo laners. I'm gonna be expecting the Gwen. Whew, that Gwen set matchup has me a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. Those are two champions where if they get going, if they start to snowball a little bit, it can get out of hand very quickly. So I'm nervous for honestly both of them because I don't want either one of them to have a bad day up there. But I mean, the way that set Gwen usually plays out, one of them typically gets the much better side of the other.
Yeah, but I'm more scared about Set in this scenario just because Rammus is the jungler here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because if Rammus decides to go down into the top lane, Xin Zhao can't come for a counter gank. It's going to be a 2v2, and it's definitely going to be won by the AD heavy side, by the AP heavy side, I mean, where
yeah.
there is a Rammus. He's going to block away everything, he's going to taunt away everything, while Gwen has that consistent, sustainable damage that is just going to absolutely wreck on over a Set, a Xin Zhao, anything that comes their way. Only saving grace I could say for like an end of a team fight coming up in the top side would be an Akali, but that would be a bit of a stretch going
I
up
mean,
against
the
that good team.
Akali, how many times have we seen an Akali go off at high level league, low level league? It doesn't really matter. If you know how to use Akali, guess what? You can pop off at any game. So, I mean, as you stated, it can be really up to that Akali. As we know, it's pretty much all AD coming out of this squad except for her. So, she's really going to need to pop off in these team fights and be extremely effective because that Rammus, he's going to not be taking too much damage from everybody else late game. But, I mean, that Akali, she's going to have a good chance.
True, true, and honestly, I think the mid lane will be the one to watch. Beforehand, you would have said, okay, well, we have to watch team fights, we have to watch objectives, we have to watch the bot side, top side is just an island. But this time, I think the true main focus of this game is going to be mid lane. It's going to be around how everyone plays around it, and I do have a slight concern that we might just see like ARAM after minute 15.
Hey, listen, I mean, the way that the last one ended so quickly, my guess would be that it's the exact same situation. My guess is that it is going to be pretty fast paced once we pass that 15-minute mark. People start getting those items, start feeling good about themselves. They start to go all in and things like that. I mean, hey, why not at this level? I'm all for it, man.
Sure, sure. I mean, I didn't say I'm not for it, but I just said it might be a bit of a slaughter fest. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly excited to see it. I've seen a lot of great games ending like 20-22, but the goal difference is going to speak for itself down after the early game, which I'm really excited for. I think the early game usually debates the course of the game, and I think that's the most important phase of the game, at least in my personal opinion. So after I've heard McMaster playing it really well with their comfort picks in the first game, I wonder if they can pull off the same sort of playmaking on the second.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to wait and find out right now. Just got to wait and get word from production on what exactly we are about to be doing right here. But I mean, either way, this squad in the Fanshawe Falcons down 0-1 in the series. I mean, this is a best of three. So, it's now or never for this squad. They're facing elimination now. in this one. So I mean, you don't want to start your season down 0-1. I mean, you tried the cheese comp in game one and ended up not working out. But coming into game two, maybe things can start to turn on their heads in your favor. I mean, you got a composition that's a little bit more well balanced, if you will. And I think really when it comes to the draft, I mean, pretty much it's anybody's game.
But we do have something along the lines of an interesting fact coming in from Sutek as he's played jungle before. It says here that he likes to punish the enemy jungler for their mistakes a lot more than other junglers. I see as well, as I also prioritize objectives a lot. So he is a very objective focused, just mistake oriented guy who stays down in his jungle and kind of doesn't go for a lot of ganks. And this time when he's playing Aramis, I don't like to hear that. I think that is going to be a bit of a problem because that is what Ramix excels at, early level ganks, just absolutely pressuring down any top mid laners, or in this case, actually annoying bot laners coming up there and trying to mess things up in the way of the rankings. So it's a lot of the pressure is going to fall down on Sutek's hands.
I mean, for sure, he's definitely going to have to look to help out his squad and all that good stuff. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we are going to be hopping into this game number 2 between McMaster versus Fanshawe. I mean, listen, both of these squads they're looking to really start things out hot. It's already been McMaster being able to go up 1-0, but here we are in game. Let's go ahead and see if the Fanshawe Falcons on the red side can overcome.
Indeed we are, and well, let's just say that we're finally actually getting into a game here for the Stream B, and we're already starting out with Kevel leading the game. Okay. Well, I guess it's just not our day, is it?
Yeah,
but I
I
do
guess
like
not.
the 5-point defense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if things can get all sorted out. It looks like for now things are good to go. I mean, hey, CN's feeling good. Sutek feeling better.
Ooh.
A little bit of an exchange going to be coming out early, so Sutek needing to play careful. He should be able to back in time, though, to heal on up.
I like the vision placings over there. He traded out a bit of his life, now backing away, and I think he's going to start blue because of that, so all went good currently for the Falcons. Although, interesting to note is that on the summoner spells of things, we don't have a flash coming in from Cavell. Instead, we see him getting up away with that TP Ignite, and we're going all the way down to the right side of the screen.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that, is pretty common with Gwens in the top lane. They typically like to take Ignite and TP just so that they can, get all the lane prio as possible. I mean, they want to be able to get back to lane, not miss minions, but also they have so much escapability as Gwen. It's just not really a bad option for sure to take that TP Ignite.
It's my first time seeing Aramis start with Crows. Interestingly enough, he's going up with his padding down into the red buff, and perhaps after he does his stones, his Krugs, maybe he's gonna go in for an early level 2 or 3 gank for the top side, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, an early gank could end up being lethal for that squad. I mean, either way, you can see the Jhin is going to be clearing out pretty standard, going to be heading over to that blue buff, making sure he's going to be able to clear out his blue side nice and clean. And he might be able to go for a nice level 3 gank up top if that Gwen keeps on pushing.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna even have a chance, Rammus, to actually get into that top side and do some work, because there's only going to be the opportunity of really a counter gank here as Cavell continues on playing so aggressively. He reached level 3 here and he's just going to punish away Danny Boy, but look at that, it looks like Zinzal is going to come up with a gank and he's going to be caught out in a pretty bad spot. Coming up here, the Ignite being used up as well. Now Danny Boy has to get away while his jungler tries to do all the bad work coming in here for the Falcons.
Is a problem.
He falls down to low HP, the flash comes in there and they're both going to be used up. Danny, weird flash.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting flash, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to be dropping lives, essentially even in CS. I mean, it was a nice play coming out of the Jhin to get the gank, get that early pressure. But once that, once that Rammus came out, Suke, he was answering right on back. But now we got the bot lane. It's going to be Boone getting caught, unfortunately, barely able to get out with his life, as they did have to burn that flash as well as the heal out of the vein. So nice play early on. Going to be coming out of this squad in McMaster, but now the Ackley is going to be able to stay alive and get on out to safety.
And here I was saying, maybe he's not gonna gank a lot, maybe we're just not gonna see that much action. No, there's all the action going on currently in the bot, mid, top side, everywhere. Currently, you see a Rammus, you see a Xin Zhao, you see just trades upon trades. And I'm just surprised that everyone just gets away with 1 HP, not even the first blood being shed here after so many aggressive engages. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, especially after the way that the last game ended so quickly. I mean, I'm definitely expecting these squads to get out to, you know, a lot of places where they're going to be feeling like they can heat check and, you know, just take these 1v1s. And I mean, at the end of the day, somebody's going to win it, right? So why not take it? You know, if you feel like it's a 50-50 and it's going to be slightly in your favor, you got to go for it. And now we get a little bit of an invade going to be coming out. They're going to be able to get the Rammus, and that's going to be first blood, beautifully executed coming out of McMaster.
That was indeed beautifully executed. It was a long setup as well. The bot side losing on quite a bit of XP, just trying to set that up along with the Xin Zhao invading the enemy jungler, and Akali even being actually up on CS 34-29 right now, and she still has the wave. It's interesting how they set it up, and I like how they did it, but it looks like another flash is going to be used up here. Red Luna going to fall down to low HP, flash away, and wow, the lantern and the Q along with the flash is going to be attempted to take that kill, but the ignite is going to be enough. Jaeger takes one. Is the ignite going to be able to deal enough damage? No, it's not.
Yeah, definitely not. Now the Jinx, you know, with 0 sums, needs to be careful because she's 1-0-1. She's feeling good. She's up in CS. They've just pushed the wave in. They just got to relax now. The side of McMaster, they've got the solid lead. They've got the advantage that they want. Now it's just all about keeping that intact.
1.6k gold up ahead right now. The Maroons are having the time of their lives, and it looks like Seth wants to continue the trend and get Cavell out of the lane as well.
Gwen needs to be careful. Gwen needs to be very careful. She can very easily get killed right here. But now that she did hit that 6 and has the backing of the Rammus there, the Set's going to know not to go in. He's just going to be getting his 6 as well. And we should be seeing a 6 engagement coming out of these squads, or out of these players. At least I would expect that. I would expect them to get both aggressive the second they get 6. Simply because Sets, they love going in the second they get 6. They feel like they're invincible. They feel like it's them against the world. And I mean, Gwen's, I mean, they really have nothing to lose. They can pretty much get out of so many situations. It's really no problem.
Well, I mean, it's justified, right? It's justified what Sets do with that, because they truly are invincible at the point they're doing so much damage at level 6.
Yeah.
It's really insane, and they can definitely just one-shot somebody if they're not careful, just like Cavell was there. But Cavell definitely played it well. He was disciplined enough. He went back, and now we're looking at a Drake start for Xin Zhao. I like the solo.
Yeah, and the question is Sutek going to be able to sniff this one out? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So, I mean, McMaster doing a good job all around. They got the first bloods. They're getting the rotations, and now they're getting the early drag. And it's a mountain drag, so that is going to be helping that Set up in that top lane a ton. And this Akali going to be coming in, and this is going to be another pinch onto the Rammus. And that hook is going to be landing, and that's going to be all she wrote, as Trapper going to be picking up the kill on the Akali yet again. No roam coming out of the Corki. And, man, McMaster looking absolutely official right here today.
I love the way Trapper plays this Akali. He plays it so aggressively, he's mega confident on it. And you can just tell that he knows what's going on the map. He sniffed that Sutek out, and he definitely knew he was doing his camp. He stole away the camp as well, so more CS to him. And then he just got the kill along with his teammates. The coordination from the Maroons are just on point right now, and I think that's why they won their first game so fast. They didn't expect it. The Falcons said, okay, this is gonna be a close-knit game, we're just gonna play it out, let it see how it goes, and they just didn't expect this level of high gameplay to come out from the McMaster Maroons, which I am definitely excited about.
I mean, right now the Falcons, I mean, they're definitely in a little bit of trouble right now. But this Thresh is absolutely trying to do it all himself, and this is going to be a perfectly timed gank, because they're going to be able to take out the Vayne just by their lonesome. They didn't even need the Jhin for the help, and I mean, now the Akali is going to be going in, chunking down the Corki, and Set's feeling good against the Gwen. I mean, this McMaster squad is rolling.
You don't even know where to look. Like, everything is going on at once, and it's all so coordinated to the point of Is this like pre-made? Is this like just how does this happen? Because at this point, it's not like the Falcons are playing bad, because they're not. They're trying to do their best, and it looks like that Akali is just gonna go on ahead and take Sutek out once again, leave him down to low HP. That Assassin's Blade is gonna take him out, and is now down to Gavel to try and even up the score, but it's 5-2. Oh, and right now the Flash She goes on from the set ultimate as well, and RKO to the ground, yet another kill for the Fed Akali, 3-0. CS up as well. I think that's GG before even minute 10 hits.
I mean, Cavell, you know, you got to know to get out of that situation. The Akali smelling blood, 3-0 now. I mean, we know how much an Akali can take over, and that's exactly what she's doing. Anytime that the lone AP character is going off, that's going to be a problem for you late game, because then you feel like you need to get MR, and, you know, essentially that could be a waste of money in some situations if you not even end up fighting her in the fight. So, I mean, right now, as you stated, McMaster, they're looking pretty clean right now. They've got the drag advantage. They've got the 6-0 kill count as well. I mean, if you look at the CS difference in the jungle, 38 to 71 right now. It is just not even close. Like, oh my goodness, Shah Oz, like, absolutely terrorizing in the jungle right now. I mean, anytime that you're 1-0-0 with 70, with literally 30, what was it, 32 more CS than your jungler, like, you're just doing an incredible job. And now he's able to get the rift. This is a jug diff in my opinion.
And also the mountain soul, not the soul yet, but the mountain drake, right? This man has got objectives and got objectives on his mind. He's got his priorities straight. Whereas it looks like Sutek is just spreading himself out too thin. He's trying to do too many things at once. And
they're going for him again. If you look, they're trying to collapse yet again. The Thresh is in the jungle. The Akali is also roaming. I mean, they're trying to not let him have any room to breathe over at this blue. And I mean, I like the plays coming out of McMaster. If you know you can shut down the jungler in effective fashion, why not just keep on doing it? And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly how you have to play it in this sort of style comp, because we're already reaching like levels 9. Everybody's hit their 6s. We're looking down to kind of set up some team fights. Or just keep on with this skirmishes. Like, honestly, anything works right here for the Maroon, because look, even turret dives come up here, and the Flash E comes in yet again from the Thresh. The Q as well before the wave, and Boone is gonna get taken out once again. Red Luna under the tower. It doesn't even matter. Another tier 1 is gonna go down. Instead, having a 2v1 of his life, is not gonna be able to take down Sutek before he himself is having to go up into an impasse. Nobody's gonna be able to save him, and I don't think he's gonna get away. No, he's not. Finally, the first kill at minute 11 after 9 of their own are gonna go down. The Falcons are gonna be able to pick one up for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, McMaster already getting the first tower now to their name as they pop the rift on the bottom side. And now with that bot prio, this should be a free and clear dragon with a 9-1 kill advantage. I mean, you got a 450 bounty on the Akali. You got a 250 on the Jinx as well. This squad right now, they're rolling and looking extremely good. And the fact that the only death that you got is from the set after he clutched a 1v2 and was still able to pick up a kill. I mean, you literally can't have a better situation than that right now for McMaster.
So, let's take a look at it objectively. We're Fanshawe Falcons fans, right? What do we have to do? How do we cheer them on? And what advice can we give them to kind of come back from this really bad situation? What do you have to do? Well, I think at least focus on your Corki, focus on your Gwen. That's your only saving grace. They are currently positive or just neutral on the score. They've got good CS going on against their laners. Not perfect, it could have been better, but still, it's looking at least like it's positive.
Yeah, we know how lethal late game Corki can be, but if you look at the items in the ADC lane, ooh, it is just a Vampiric Scepter on one side with boots compared to a whole Kraken Slayer with boots on the other side. So, I mean, this Jinx is just miles and miles ahead of this Vayne right now, and yes, Vaynes can get big late game, but you got to get there in order to see it. And it was this squad McMaster that shut out Fanshawe in the last game. And now Trapper, he's going in. He's going into the base looking for 2. And he's going to be picking up the double kill as this squad and McMaster now have a 10-kill advantage.
I refuse to acknowledge that I am watching a college match. I am watching Reckless currently dominate on Akali. Nobody can change my mind. 6-0, minute 13. This man is absolutely insane, and nobody's gonna stop him tonight. Not anymore, at least. As we are reaching a 7K gold lead for the Maroons.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking extremely solid for them right now. Gonna be able to pick up some more plates. Like, my goodness, they're getting all these plates still. It hasn't even been the 14-minute mark. It feels like it's already 16, 17, by the way. They're just able to push and get all this map control right now. I mean, we talked about it. We needed to look at the jungle. You said it was going to be Sutek that you had your eyes on, and right now, 0-4. He's got half the CS as Jin Zhao. Like, this is just not a good showing out of him right now.
I think he collapsed in on himself. Like, too much pressure built up in there. Everybody put his thoughts on him, and now the team fight's gonna come up. It's gonna be a perfect anecdote for what's been going on here, because the Xin Zhao is coming in right in the middle of them. They think they can get the kill, but still, the ultimate comes out. He flashes in out of there as well, and still, the winning team is definitely gonna be the Maroons. Like, look at that. Everybody's low HP. They're trying to get those kills, but in the end, they're only getting themselves killed. Trapper over there getting the E and the ultimate, coming up onto the Corki as well, shutting him down, and any hope that the Falcons had to continue on to this is going to be lost. The tier 3 turret as well.
Okay, Trapper just made the play. Going in to get that double kill, able to flash out as well. Like, that was a very high skill level play. Like, shout out to Trapper. I was not expecting him to get out of that one alive. He used his flash perfectly. It was perfect timing, perfect execution. That was exactly what I want to see out of my mid laner. If your mid laner's doing that right there, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a long day for the enemy team.
Oh, and it's going to be an easy game for you. Currently 9K gold difference for the side of the Maroons. They're having their games just being led on by a Fed Akali, by a Fed Jinx, by a Fed Thresh. Don't you just love to hear it if they're on your team? Whereas for the Falcons, what do you have looking forward to? You only have like a Gwen halfway up there, and the only mythic that you have on your team is from the 1-5 Sutek, who's currently mega struggling to keep up with that jungle CS, as he's fallen behind almost double.
Yeah, and you know what the scary thing is that we're not even at 16 minutes left. Like, that rift is about to pop yet again. And guess what? That Xin Zhao is going to be getting the rift yet again. They're already setting it up, clearing out all the pinks right now. Yes, the Rammus is up here, so they could contest technically, but, I mean, I just don't think that would be the smartest thing.
Can they really?
I mean, it's a 3v2, but I don't even know if they can take that. Like, you can see now, the Jhin gonna be beating him up, man. Just beating, bullying right now. Just saying, you know, you're not even gonna be able to hop on over. This one's ours, don't even think about it.
And I finally understand why the first game finished so fast. Like, yeah, those are comfort picks, right? Like, we're seeing just counter picks being played right here from the Maroons. Imagine when they're on their mains. Imagine when they're fully stacked up, all on their comfort picks, all on just perfect synergy, and they're just having the games of their lives. I think I'm watching the winning team of the NECC right now, because it's absolutely insane.
I mean, they're definitely playing like they want to be the champions of this NECC league.
How does Trapper not die there?
Trapper is going to be able to get out, though. I mean, that's just good Akali play. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be able to understand how to lock a champ down. And, I mean, that Akali, we know that they can be so slippery as the set. He's going to be taking that tower damage to try and get it. He is able to get some good damage out on the Corki. He takes the Thresh hook, and he's on out of there. And the Jhin going to be able to zone them away. And, I mean, just solid plays coming out of this McMaster squad right now, as they are pretty much invincible right now, only dropping 2 kills the entire time. You got to be able to put something together ASAP if you are the Fanshawe Falcons.
I don't know what you could put up together. Like, those should have been 2 clean bounty kills coming up right here for the red side of the team, but it doesn't look like it. Even that item being used up by the Thresh over there, I thought something big was going to go down. But I just want to say, Set should have died there. Akali should have died there. Oh, yeah. Nobody did because of Thresh. Like, absolutely insane support plays, absolutely insane mechanical skills coming up from all of the players of the McMaster Maroons. And I am not watching the McMaster Maroons. I'm just watching Rogue play right now. I'm certain of it.
They're playing extremely solid. God. I mean, and they're on soul point at 18 minutes. I mean, this is looking like a solo queue game when everything's gone wrong for me, if I'm the Fanshawe Falcons. But they are going to be coming in with this dive. but they're
Nope.
not even going to get any damage in. Unfortunate as the TP going to be coming right back in from the Akali. I mean, this squad right now, McMaster, they are just doing a great job of answering back each and every time. And now if I'm this side of Fanshawe, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point because you're losing all the objectives. You're 0-5 in objectives. You're 0-2 in Rifts and 0-3 in Dragons. So you're getting out jug gapped. You're getting out farmed. You're getting out pushed. You're getting out slayed. Like like it's going to be really hard for the Fanshawe Falcons to get back in this game. They're going to need a team wipe and something crazy off of that.
So here's my only analysis coming out for the Falcons of what they maybe could do. Right now, they have to continue on losing, and I'll explain why in just a sec. They have to continue on losing, fall back to the towers that they've got onto the Nexus, and hope and pray to God that they just push in one by one, manage to find a team fight, and Nami gets that huge wave to absolutely see everyone up and get Corki that damage in. Just don't die one by one. Just wait for them to come to you. Don't play aggressively like you're doing right now. And look at Trapper. He's absolutely there demolishing the back line along with Seth holding up the front. It's just an absolute massacre. And we are watching currently just McMaster Maroon having a field trip. Having a field day.
Yeah, now that Jinx, Jaeger, having a ball for sure. As the Rammus is going to be coming in, but he's going to be meeting his maker. As it is going to be the McMaster squad looking to end this one right here, right now, through the top lane. They said we don't need mid, don't need bot. Let's go ahead and get this one done with right now. As it is only going to be the Nami up right now for the next few seconds. They're going to be shredding this first tower. Nami trying to do everything that she can, but that is not going to be enough. As they are going to be focusing on this Nexus, but with 3 players up, we are going to get another fight. And now going in is going to be the Akali, but she's going to be chunking everybody down, and she's going to be picking up another one. Trapper going massive. Will he be diving into the Nexus at this point? It's the Jinx trying to take him out in the fountain. They're taking them all out, and it's McMaster taking the series in 2-0 fashion.
Roma, what did I just watch?
You watched a great game of League right there. Woo! McMaster, they're a problem.
God. I am left speechless. McMaster Maroon, they deserve this win, no questions asked. They absolutely demolished, and I presume this is how it went for game number 1 as well, because this has been just a complete show, and I thank you so much for coming and casting it with me, because I cannot believe my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that either. That was literally absolutely insane. Even my dog just had to be like, "What was that?" Like he had to bark about that one. Like that was a showing right there out of McMaster right here. I mean, we spoke about it before it started. You know, if somebody right now in this league wants to really leave their stamp, leave their imprint, and let the other teams know in the league that, listen, you're gonna have to watch out for me, that's a way to do it. McMaster coming out strong right here with their first win of the season. I mean, it was an absolutely clean win. The Akali plays coming out. That one's getting banned from now on. I see why they banned it in the first game. I don't know what got through that got played in that first game, but I mean, it made them not ban the Akali in game 2, and they paid for it.
And I don't know why I came in with this premonition that Trapper would just be there. He wouldn't do that much, right? But when he picked that only AP champ, that's the moment where he shined, and shine he did. He shone so bright that I basically am left blind. Because that was just one game to look at. I hope you guys at home enjoyed it as well, just as much as we did.
Oh yeah, big time.
I don't even know.
Big time. I mean,
I don't even know what to say.
I'm sure they did. I mean, you know, looking at this one, like that was just an absolutely insane series. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, they're going to be going up 2-0 and taking that series home. So we are not going to be done for the night, though. Up next, we are going to be having Emporia State Esports going up against Pitt State Esports. So that is going to be our next matchup of the night. Okay, so you guys are not going to be wanting to go anywhere. The last matchup, it was insane. The next one, it's going to be even crazier. I can guarantee it. So you guys aren't going to want to go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break. Hello and welcome to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I am Rome DMV, joined alongside Cyro for this game number 2. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I was over on NEC1, the first stream there, and I had a blast there. Now I'm here with you, and I'm looking forward to another banger series here tonight. And yeah, as I said, banger series. I'm hoping to have some chill vibes as well. So, what about you? How are you doing?
Listen, I'm doing great. I mean, the last series we got to see McMaster. They went absolutely berserk. They ended that one extremely quick, racked up a bunch of kills, gave us a great show. We got to see Nikali go off, drop like 10 kills. It was absolutely insane. But I mean, now we'll see if that's going to be the same situation. I mean, we've got Emporia State Esports going up against Pitt State Esports, and Pitt State coming into this one with an 0-1 record after they did drop their first series last week in 1-2 fashion against MCU Esports. And I mean, now, Emporia State Esports, they had a bye in their week 1. So they're coming into this one 0-0. So coming into this one 0-0 against a squad that's 0-1, how do you think they're feeling?
I mean, they're a bit of an unknown factor, so they're the one holding all the cards right now. They've definitely had a chance to scout their enemies out. So I think for Imperia here, they're going to be feeling pretty good about their chances. You know, they're probably the high ranked team. They had the bye, so they're coming in fresh. They're not worried about their record so far. And you already know you're against a team looking to rebound. So right away, that creates a little bit of momentum for them. And I won't know until we get into draft, but having momentum early really can spell difference between a win and loss, especially in the early game.
Oh, yeah, big time. And let's go ahead and take a look at these lineups that we have for these squads right now coming into today. So first up, we're going to go ahead and look at the side of Emporia State, as they're going to be having AH7. We're going to be having Zekin. We're going to be having Bop. We're going to be having Quant. We're going to be having Aspian. And we're going to have SSG to Goku, excuse me. On this squad, but it looks like they are going to be having a little bit of a sub. So we're just going to call him Zekin. All right, we're just going to call him Zekin. Simple as that. So Zekin, Bop, Quant, Aspian, and AH7. And you can see their grades right here coming out. They've only got one senior on this squad.
Yeah, but I know in a game like League of Legends, age and experience isn't always everything because there are so many newcomers nowadays that have basically grown up playing this game. So I'm looking forward to these youngings, you could say, the grasshoppers trying to make an impact. But having Bop there as a senior voice on the team can be absolutely huge for their teamwork, having that leadership presence. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see the team's chemistry here.
And the other thing that I'm looking at is they're all three in computer science. Who knows? Maybe they share a classroom. Who knows? I mean, the chemistry might be there for sure. I mean, who knows what's going to be coming out of this Emporia State squad? But I think we can all know that, starting at 0-0, they definitely want to look into coming in this season hot and get that early 1-0 start. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side in Pitt State as we can pull them up. We are going to be having the Babe, Duel, Solar, Lucinati, and Kawhi Arrow. And I mean, honestly, this squad right here, even though they started out 0-1, they were able to at least win one map against MCU, so they do have a little bit of momentum coming into this.
Yeah, it always feels good picking up a game win regardless of the series outcome. It means that you are still competitive, and being competitive is always a good feeling because it allows you to regroup easier. It fortifies your mental. And so, yeah, you still have to bounce back overall, but it's easier to do so when you know that, hey, it was a closer game. So, yeah, I'm definitely expecting good things. We do have Jules as a graduate student, so more of that senior leadership voice on the side of Pitt State. Same with the Babe, another senior. And hell, even Lucinati there is also a graduate student. So a much more veteran roster, or at least older players, so they should have a little bit more game knowledge, macro sense, and I'm expecting good things out of Pitt State here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm expecting them to bounce back for sure. I mean, 0-1 start is going to be rough for any squad, but I mean, hey, no better time to bounce back than week 2. I mean, the sky's the limit for this squad. Everyone's coming into this new season. It's fresh. It's new. Everyone can have a new chance at making their claim to being one of the top teams in this league, and that's what this squad's going to be looking to do. You do not want to go down in that 0-2 hole to start the season for sure.
Yeah, being 0-2 early on can definitely feel rough. So putting a stop to that losing trend, as you mentioned, can be huge. But also, Emporia needs to start off on the right foot as well. They had a bye week, which also means they could be complacent as they start their actual season now. So both these teams looking to make big things happen in this week 2 performance. So hopefully both of them can accomplish their goals, but ultimately one of these teams does have to go home with a loss here.
Yeah, and you know, it's gonna be interesting to see exactly who ends up coming home with that loss. I mean, they are in the same division. They're both in the Emergent Cyan section, so you know, coming out, they're definitely going to want to be getting that tiebreaker advantage at least over this other squad. I mean, you know, anytime that you're sitting here in the top division like this, or in the same division as the squad you're going up against, that matchup is massive. And I mean, honestly, Pitt State, Emporia, this is a pretty even matchup if I'm looking at it overall. I'm really going to be seeing a pop-off player coming out of this one simply because of the levels at the ranks that we see in the averages of these players. I'm expecting one player to try to pop off on their champion that they can use as their main. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, as you mentioned it, being a player on your comfort pick just feels so good. And when you're on a comfort pick, it just enables you to, I don't want to say limit test, because limit testing usually involves running it down, because that's
Yeah.
usually how it goes. But, you know, playing close to the limits of your champion, you know the boundaries, you know how far you can push it and get away with it. So being on a comfort pick is definitely something I'm looking for these players to be on right now. Just because it helps with the nerves as well. They're on stream, they're playing in a competitive match. There will be nerves. Even if they convince themselves there isn't, there will be some residual nerves there. So you can't ignore the mental aspect in this. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. So are
I
there
mean,
any...
you talk about the
Oh,
comfort picks. I mean, the Kali in last game that we saw in game number 2 of the last series absolutely went off, you know, dropped like 10 kills. And the fact that it was banned in game number 1 and got through in game number 2, and then the Akali absolutely was terrorizing, that just shows how you really should be sticking with those comfort pick bans. Some champions you just should not be letting people on. And I mean, if you look at this side, I mean, a lot of people are looking at this one. It says that Zekin, he's actually played every single role at some point. This is now his 7th season in playing. So, I mean, he's definitely an experienced player coming into this one. And then, you know, on the other side, if you look at the side of Solar Shot, he plans on hitting diamond rank this season. So that's his goal coming into this one. So, I mean, listen, both of these squads, they've got high aspirations for themselves. It's just going to be all about letting it all happen right here on the Rift. It's going to be fun to see who's going to be able to come out top.
yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, you have to face the opponent ahead of you, regardless of your aspirations. If you win, they're a stepping stone. If you lose, they're a little bit more like a cliff. But either way, you do have to face them on the Rift. And as we've mentioned quite a lot now, comfort picks matter. It doesn't really matter the meta right now, especially at this elo, because meta is definitely skewed towards the pro players. They're the ones that set it, and then it sort of trickles down. So I'm definitely looking forward to more comfort bans, target bans. You really want to take away the champions that the enemy is comfortable on and try and secure as many for yourself or for your team while trying to put together a cohesive composition. And so that can be a difficult task at times, because what you may like to play may not work well in a team sense. So definitely looking forward to draft and seeing how these two teams approach it and what sort of compositions they even like to play, because that could affect the game a lot right from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Zekin, you talked about it. I mean, having a wide pool of champions can be massive, and the fact that Zekin has played every single role at some point, I mean, it means that he has that flexible capability to, if you need me to go to a different lane, okay, I can go to a different lane. We can swap. If you need me to play certain champions, I can play them. Whatever the team composition needs, then we'll be good to go. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. We're going to be heading right into the match after this very, very short break. So don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it. Hello and welcome back to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I am here joined alongside Cyro, and we have got a good Game 1 in store for you all.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know we're going to be getting into Champ Select very quickly, and I'm excited to see the picks that come through. And so, with that, we are looking at the bans already, and we do see the Corky ban, the Ornn ban. Both of these bans I agree with. Corky, while he has gotten nerfed in the meta recently, it's his package that is the issue. And so, with that being nerfed, he's less powerful, but his poke damage is still insane, no matter how you cut it. So, Victor, another great scaling mage option in the mid lane, and they're definitely targeting Arrow there.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying, you know what, mid lane, you're going to get on out of here, not going to be having a good time whatsoever. But you know what I want to see is who is having a good time. I want to see you guys out there in the chat. It's a lot of you guys out there. I want to see who's showing up for Emporia or Pittsburgh. So if you're here supporting Emporia, go ahead and drop an E in the chat. And if you're here for Pittsburgh, go ahead and drop a P in the chat, okay? I want to see who is showing out, who's really got the home field advantage, if you will, who's got the most support in the chat. I always like looking out for that. So that's what I'm really going to be looking out for right here.
Yeah, having support also goes a long way, knowing that you have people behind you cheering you on. It can be such a great motivational boost as well. But looking at the rest of the bands here, we also see the Yasuo, the Fiddlesticks, the Ornn. So definitely more spread out, hitting multiple lanes there, and definitely targeted. Because Fiddlesticks is no way in the meta. It was played, I think, last season in the LEC, but definitely not a meta pick right now. But we see Karma Sejuani for the side of Pittsburgh and Wukong, Graves, and Cassidy for the side of Emporia.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were just thinking, you know what, the Fiddlesticks is a comfort pick. You got a bunch of mastery on it. Who knows? Maybe, they just scouted them out and decided to take away one of the picks that they feel like the other team likes. I mean, we talked about it at this level. It can't just be about those comfort picks. So who knows? Maybe that ban might actually be very fortuitous for him. We just got to find out. But I like the Vigar selection that is going to be coming out of this squad. I mean, when we're looking at the Pittsburgh, who is going to be on the right, by the way, Pittsburgh State is on the right, Emporia is on the left. Pittsburgh State right now, their composition, they've got a lot of lockdown right now.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. The Karma, great poke, but also great CC. Sejuani, a champion built around locking people down. And then you have Vigar, you have the baby cage, and that CC and zone control can be absolutely massive in setting for play. However, the baby cage doesn't stop the Cassidy from ulting unless Cassidy lands on the gate, I believe. So we definitely have to see how Arrow places that cage to maximize their impact. But the rest of the bands have come through, and they are Yone, Diana, Fizz, and Lux. So all very current meta champions, I would say, except for the Fizz. Fizz is definitely targeted there. But overall, I agree with these bands. They're very strong picks that were taken away and, just gotten rid of. So we see the Jhin and the Kaisa for the ADCs, both of them scaling options and would be classified as hyper carries.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if this last pick is going to end up being a support. I feel like it might end up being a support. This might be Karma Top that we see, simply because we've seen Karma Top before today and in this league before. And yes, it is going to be a Karma Top, as it looks like there is going to be a little bit of Lulu action that is going to be coming out of Pittsburgh State. And don't worry, guys, we see in the chat, it looks like there was a little bit more people supporting Pittsburgh than there was for Emporia. So looks like Pittsburgh got a little bit of the home field advantage, but Kaisa Nautilus going to be coming out of the other side. That's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah, Nautilus always has such great pick potential with the judge line. Then with his ultimate, it's hard to escape the Nautilus once he starts landing that CC, especially with the lollipop factor on his Q. So it's going to be on duels to position correctly, and in Jhin not to get caught there. Because if Jhin gets caught, then this lane could very well snowball. But I'm excited about these drafts. As you mentioned, the Karma Top, something that we've seen before in the league. Now, the Karma there's so many different build paths for the Karma that I don't know which to talk about first. The most meta version, I would say, would be the Smite support item Karma Top. However, the support item got nerfed recently, where you only can farm, I believe it's half the amount of minions for the first 5 minutes before it goes back to the normal value, which you would get as a regular support player. So the gold income is lessened. So that it could still be a viable option, but it requires a tremendous amount of teamwork to make it work. Most likely, it's going to be a tank Karma, which I absolutely hate playing against because you can never catch her, never lock her down long enough, and then she just slows you to oblivion. It's infuriating to play against.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, the thing is that that combination with the Karma and the Lulu onto that Jin is going to be hitting like a Mack truck. I'm not going to be lying. But the thing is that if this squad in Emporia can shut down that Jin, I don't really know what else from the side of Pittsburgh State is really going to be all that much of a problem to deal with. Like, yes, there is the Vigar, but not all that much aside from the Vigar and the Jin when it comes to the damage side of things. So unless the Karma is going to be putting out a bunch of DPS, I'm not exactly sure how this one's going to be going if that Jin ends up getting shut down. But hey, at the end of the day, they've got the composition to keep that Jin well alive.
Yeah, double supports will always keep the carry alive. Vigar will have a insane amount of burst, especially with the primordial burst, I believe. And he can delete a squishy, whether it's Graves or Kaisa, maybe even Cassidy if he doesn't have his Zonyas ready. He should be able to one-shot them with the proper CC chain. So I'm not too worried about their damage. But yeah, you are correct. They do have to keep the Jin alive because that is their only AD source. The other four, AP. So I'm expecting, especially out of Quant with the Wukong, to heavily itemize MR. Hex Drinker, perhaps the Spirit Visage, even Graves, he could go Wit's End, but maybe even a Hex Drinker he would work well. Nautilus would probably need to go Locket just for the extra safety for his carries. He could go Shirelli's Battle Song and just speed everyone up because looking at the side of Emporia, they want to go in where Pittsburgh wants to kite back and cut you down, lock you up with CC, and then kill you. So both these teams, they have different win conditions, and it will be interesting to see which team can play to their win conditions the best.
That's the other thing is that Pittsburgh, they don't really have all that much engaged. They have the Sejuani, but I mean, aside from that, as you stated, they're essentially waiting for you to come into them. Oof, man. I'm not sure if they really got enough firepower here to pack a punch and end up bringing this one home when it gets to that team fighting scenarios. But listen, I mean, hey, sky's the limit for them. They're currently sitting at 0-1 in this league, and they're looking to get their first win right here. Maybe this composition will be the one to turn it around. Maybe double support ends up being the way.
Yeah, who knows? The Karma could actually go AP burst and just blow everyone out of the water. We won't know until we see it. So a lot of it is just speculation right now. But Rome, I have to ask you, do you have any predictions for how this series will go overall and who picks up game one based on the team comps that we've seen so far?
If I had to pick one person for game one, I would say probably Emporia, just because I like their team composition a little bit better. It doesn't rely on just one character. I mean, they have a lot of players that can end up carrying on their side. The Graves, the Wukong, a bunch of players that have that snowball effect. So, I mean, honestly, it all depends on who's going to be getting out to an early start. But I think that Emporia have a good chance of doing so simply because their comp. I don't think that the Karma is going to be able to deal with the Wukong like that if the Wukong plays how I know that every Wukong that I go against solo queue plays, and that's absolutely incredible. So, I'm going to be excited to see if this Wukong is going to be able to terrorize this Karma the same way that I get terrorized in solo queue.
Yeah, the monkey business out of the Wukong is always terrifying, especially with his decoy.
Yeah.
I fall for that way too much, so I understand your pain.
Yeah.
But it's also not a pick you see too much, so there definitely is that little bit of pick advantage, or maybe matchup just because he's not used to it. But the Karma can play safe and farm with her Mantra Q, and it's going to be pretty hard to engage on her. So I'm not expecting too much to happen top unless Graves gets a amazing burst pick. So I think I'm actually going to favor Pittsburgh a little bit better because their win condition is simpler to execute. They have the
Okay.
Vigar, they have the Jin, they have their hyper carries that can scale and protect them because they have the double support. So you can just say Lulu on one, Karma on the other, and then you have Sej frontlining. And also Sej has so much CC that she can basically peel an entire team herself if she really wants to. So yeah, I think Pittsburgh has a decent shot at this, but Emporia can't easily win this game if they itemize correctly and make it through the early game and hit their scaling points. Because we all know the level 16 Cassidy is something to be feared. and Graves can pick up the Serpent's Fang and absolutely rip through the shields of both Karma and Lulu. So that item could be absolutely massive value. So we will have to watch the itemizations. But as a final prediction, for the overall series, I'm probably going to go with Emporia 2-1. Pittsburgh will pick up a game here. I have faith in them, but I don't think they will quite pick up the series. Their comp seems a little too passive, where in League, if you get a lead early, which means playing the aggressive laners, that's how you snowball and win matches. Early lead. So yeah, so I guess predictions are in the book. So here we are into game 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good one. So Pittsburgh is going to be on the red side, Emporia on the blue. So right now it's going to be no funny business, no invades coming out from either side. It's going to be straight up normal start, and I like this.
Yeah. Not quite a normal start. They did do a rough 5-point. We do see Solar Shot starting the opposite buff, so starting red buff as well, which means that she'll be pathing down for the bot lane out of Pittsburgh, which is it's a little bit interesting, but also sets up Jin as her win condition. They're playing for him, and Emporia needs to recognize that. Otherwise, they could be playing the price pretty early here.
I mean, another thing that I'm looking at is both of the ADCs, they started with just a dagger. So, I mean, anytime that an ADC starts with a dagger, they definitely feel like they're going to be not only winning lane, but they're going to be able to use that advantage to, you know, that early advantage, that early item advantage to get that early item lead. So, I mean, both ADCs right now taking a little bit of a risk. We got to see who's going to hurt and who's going to help.
Yeah, and the one thing by starting Dagger, it enables them to sustain longer because they're able to buy that third potion. So that's 150 HP that they're able to regen in these fights and keep them alive. But here we see Wukong already being poked down by the Babe. I guess the Babe truly is dangerous if you get too close.
Yeah, for sure. That looks like to be the case for now. And right now, I mean, top lane, mid lane, or at least the jungle, pretty even for now, as Vigar's actually out farming the Kassadin. You don't see that too often. Things are looking pretty good in the mid lane right now for Vigar. Top lane as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to have 3 pretty passive lanes until we see 6, and then we're probably going to see a fight in the mid.
Yeah, I can see that. One thing is that you do want to punish the Kassadin early if you can, which is why Kassadin is letting the wave push into him. So the CS should rebound fairly close together for the mid laners, but also it is a melee versus range matchup. It's assumed that Vigar will get the push, will get the CS lead early and the poke advantage. The key thing here is that Solar Shot has CC on the Sejuani. Graves does not, which means that there's greater gank assist coming out of the jungler from Pittsburgh, which means ganks are easier to execute.
For sure, and you can see right now the Sej and the Graves going to be meeting up at this scuttle. It's going to be smited away, and it is going to be going to the side of Bop, and now it's going to be a 1v1. I mean, Graves should be winning this one, so Sej going to go ahead and back on out of there. Smart play.
Yeah, the lucky aspect there is that both junglers, they didn't have their red buff, because if they had their red buffs taken, I think Graves may have opted in for that fight, but luckily he didn't because the Babe there on the Karma had the push advantage, had the roam, and you can see just whittling down the Wukong consistently and just being an absolute menace. Also started Darkseal, which is a bit more of an aggressive start, and definitely hoping to pick up the kills, but we have action bot lane as Jin gets hooked.
Yeah, Jin taking a whole lot of damage right now. No heal going to be coming out, though, so they didn't need to burn any summoner spells. Just going to be walking away. Cool, calm, and collected. Going to be healing on up. No first blood coming in yet.
Yeah, we're seeing that Wukong is having to use the decoy just to get out of there, but the Babe forces the flash as she drops the ignite. So Karma definitely putting damage in early, though. Still down a little bit of success. Oh, that flash matrix Q, that's gotta hurt, but hopefully you can still pick up the kill on Quaint. But Quaint is able to walk it out under tower, and I think the Babe wants that one back because that was just unfortunate there.
Yeah, Quantum Plasma, you know, he tried to get out of there, and he did so successfully, but just barely. I mean, honestly, the Babe and Karma doing a great job right now, keeping this pressure up top. And this is definitely what you want to do anytime you're going up against a Wukong. You want to try to bully them early, especially if you're ranged. Make sure that, they're not going to be getting any free farm, nothing too wild. And, the Karma to be dead even in CS, but also bullying in the lane itself. I mean, the Karma's going to be feeling good.
Yeah, now there are no summoners top lane, so I'm expecting both junglers to have their eyes up there because that means an easier gank. But it does look like eyes are on the dragon right now because it is an early mountain dragon. Now Cassidy did get a deep ward, so that should help overall. But it definitely seems like Pittsburgh has the first push and priority on this dragon.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, all 4 players are going to be down here. This is all 5. My goodness, yes. They're going to be 5-man in this one. And that is going to be all theirs. And that's going to be a mountain as well. And that should be going over to the Sejuani. So Sej is going to be getting even bigger, even tankier, even bolder, even more of a problem to deal with on the map.
Yeah. I think that was a little bit an aggressive rotation out of the Babe, because the Babe is kind of sacking her lane, or their lane right now. So they both back to 30 CS, now down 17 CS. Will lose at least half a wave worth of moves to tower right now. Wukong will pick up a plate, so a little bit questionable there. But if they make their dragon their win con and continue to stack it, it should be worthwhile.
Yeah, and able to get him underneath the tower. This Wukong, will they be able to turn around? Looks like the Graves is going to be there to save the day. That's going to be first blood coming in from the Vigar with the cage, being able to shut one down. And now they're going to be chasing on, trying to get this Graves. Is Graves going to get on out? Ooh. No, he's not. As Kawhi going to be dropping him, getting his second kill of the match. Feeling good.
Yeah, Bop making a grave mistake there, stepping too far forward, trying to support Quaint, only to get ulted by Arrow there, the primordial burst. Definitely living up to its name as it popped Graves into an early grave.
Yeah, literally put him out of his misery extremely quick, as that ultimate tends to do. I mean, anytime that a Vigar is going to be getting those early kills like that, poof, man, at this point, you got to try to figure a way out to not give them any more kills, because at this point, if Vigar, if he catches you, he might be able to one-shot you already, and I mean, that's just not what you want to see if you are the side of Emporia State, for sure. As right now, this Nautilus is going to be waiting in the wings, just looking for his opportunity to land a hook, but it looks like they're going to be confident and waiting just to get to 6. They're going to back on up and reset.
Yeah, so I've been trying to figure out their builds already. It does seem like Karma is going to be itemizing towards Eluden's Echo, so definitely more of an AP burst poke, and will be maxing Q. Will definitely be maxing Q first. Vigar, I feel like he's going towards the Crown of the Shattered Queen just for the safety, but a good baby cage there keeps him alive, but he does have to flash out. Now we fight top on Quaint, who used the Cyclone, but I don't think he's getting out here as he's locked down by the Glacial Prism, and the monkey. The monkey's dead.
Yeah, ooh, now 3-0 advantage. Kawhi missed. Unfortunate, the ult is there. And now it's just the Graves that's not able to get away, as Kawhi going to be picking up his 3rd kill. He's got a bounty on his head now. Feeling good as he's going to be back in, I mean, right now, this one is all Pittsburgh State, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, and now it's the Lulu getting picked on, getting ulted on. With a heal, does get back under tower. Both, or 3 summoners burn to keep the Lulu alive there, but I think it's worthwhile because it keeps the goal lead for Pittsburgh, and it prevents Zekin from getting anything and getting going. So we also see that the... Come on,
Lulu.
Pittsburgh, let me finish my point.
Oh, unfortunate. I don't know why Lulu went up, especially if she knew that Nautilus had his ult coming. I mean, Lulu just burned all the sums. Now you're going to be giving up the first kill over to the side of Emporia. I mean, that's extremely unfortunate for sure. You got to see now if this Sedge versus this Graves is going to mount to anything, or if the Sedge is just going to be backing off. Yes, she is, smartly. Just a little bit of a heat check there.
Yeah. Okay, so we did see off screen on the minimap that Solar Shot and the Babe were able to secure the Rift, which is why Sej was positioning so aggressively there behind the tower. Luckily, Bop's Cop was there to prevent a dive and the Rift Tower being dropped. But that is going to be another 500 gold eventually going over to the side of Pittsburgh if they can drop it within the time frame, of course. But the Air Dragon is up next in 46 seconds, and I'm going to assume that Pittsburgh, having shown priority for that before, will play for that again this time around.
Never fall.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I would expect them to definitely at least try to contest it in some sort of way. I mean, it can be bad to get those dragons stacked up against you. We saw in the last series, in that last game, number 2, how bad it can get. I mean, they had soul point at 18 minutes. And anytime things get out of hand that quickly, it's just not going to be a good day for your squad whatsoever. Right now, AH7 just battling it out with his Veigar in mid. But, I mean, this Veigar has been on one today.
Yep. And so Dragon is spawning now. But it's the priority bot for Emporia right now, which prevents an easy drag secure out of Pittsburgh. So I would assume that Solar Shot will have to drop the grip somewhere to get the extra prio needed for the rotation towards Dragon. But it looks like they might still go for it right now, which is a little bit surprising, a little bit risky. But there isn't any enemy vision on it, so this could work out. It's definitely a sneaky call that I wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah, it's 100% risky, and now the Nautilus and the Kaisa are going to know they're there, but they're not going to be able to challenge in time, so that's going to be a 2-0 drag count. That is going to be coming in for Pittsburgh State as they're feeling extremely, extremely nice.
Okay. So, the bot side out of Emporia reset there, which makes sense to do because they did have their lane shoved, so they get a good buy-in. They complete the Mura Mana right now, I want to say it's called. Because the Mana Mune is the evolved one. Confusing names, right? Confusing names. But we do see the mythics coming out for the mid laners, the Crown of the Shattered Queen there, so the Veigar definitely opting for a safer option, which I'm a little bit surprised at because he is ahead. I would have liked to see an Everfrost built so he could continue to push his advantage, but if he's playing for the late game and eventual Kassadin, it does make sense. So Kassadin well on his way stacking this tier to a Seraphs, and that will provide a lot of healing later on for him.
Oh, big time. So right now it looks like the top side is going to be collapsed on for now. They're going to be dropping that rift up top. So solid play going to be coming out of this squad in Pittsburgh right now. They're going to be able to get this first tower. And there it is. That's going to be first tower heading over to the side of Pittsburgh State. Feeling amazing, as now they're going to be pressing the issue in a 2v2 situation.
Yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh will stay for this tower. They just want to escort the Rift Herald there. Because if they get a second charge, it's 100% worth it. But Wayne taking so much damage there. But now it's a 4v2 situation, and the Babe is under pressure. But a good dodge from Void Seeker will keep the Babe alive. Now Solar Shot, being the boar, being the tank, should be able to run it out just fine. So overall, they get one and a half towers with Rift Herald, which is good to see. And now Pittsburgh has rotated their bot lane up to mid to match the rotations out of Emporia. I was a little bit... I was questioning why the rotation came out of Emporia, but it makes sense if they needed to answer the Rift call and have the man advantage there.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, if you look at the bottom lane Kassadin right now, he's going to be having a ball, getting a bunch of free farm for sure. One thing you don't want to do is let a Kassadin just free farm and start to get ahead in ways that they normally wouldn't, because you can already see the Kassadin, he's up by 2 CS right now. So even though he is down to the Veigar with those early kills coming out of Veigar, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not over if you're the side of Emporia.
I think Arrow should still be matching the Kassadin right now, just because the Kassadin isn't quite at a one-shot potential. So the Babe, I think, can definitely handle Wukong better in a side lane. But either way, they're overloading the mid lane right now, trying to get this mid tower down, and not quite able to get it yet, which is a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, for sure. You want them to be able to press the issue, as the Karma going to be landing in nice damage on AHK. Or AHT, excuse me. Oh my gosh, as that chain is going to be absolutely lethal. Jhin ultimate going to be coming out. Not Hook going to be coming in. He's trying to tank every single bit of Jin's ultimate. And that's just going to be beautiful defense that is going to be coming out of Aspian right there.
Okay, so we also just saw AH7 with a TP towards mid lane. I don't think he'll get anything for his TP, but he will save his team from any further fighting. And it does mean that the Babe will probably collect this bot tower, but someone needs to answer the top wave. That looks to be at least a triple stack wave top with Quaint resetting, so that's a lot of gold on the map being dropped.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Quaint could have probably pushed the issue, got a little bit of tower damage as well, decided to back instead. Oh, but that's going to be a mistake right there, as Kassadin going to be getting the better of Karma, absolutely eviscerating her once she took the challenge.
Yeah, the Babe definitely experiencing some karma there for all the hurt that she was putting onto Kassadin, but ultimately it's Kassadin doing Kassadin things, and that's blowing people up.
Yeah. I mean, Kassadin is so lethal, and the fact that both mid laners now 3-0 on one side, 1-0 on the other side. I mean, if this Kassadin starts to snowball, this can definitely be a game where things turn around.
Okay, so third dragon is on the map in 30 seconds. So this will be a 17-minute soul point, give or take. I'm assuming all 10 members on the field will be rotating to this right now. Now, Emporia is already there. So Pittsburgh will be a little bit late to it. Solar Shot is recalling right now, which is unfortunate. It means they didn't manage their back timers correctly. So that does give an opportunity for Emporia to push in, get vision. But they can't be taking poke like that on 3 members, because that definitely makes the ensuing team fight a lot harder to manage.
Oh, for sure. And the big thing is that now the Sedge is going to have plenty of time to get down here to contest this dragon before it goes too low. And the thing is that this side in Emporia, they didn't even realize that the Sedge wasn't there yet. So that's the main reason that they didn't engage. And I mean, now the Kassadin, you can see the Kassadin on the backside, going to be coming in, but he is going to be on a pink. The cage going to be coming out, going to be catching a player. Kassadin going in, trying to blow him up, trying to see who he can find, but he does get rooted down. Now it's going to be a big play going to be coming out, but Kawhi is able to pick up 1. The Jhin ultimate curtain call going to be coming in, but no, the Kassadin's going to be cleaning up 1, cleaning up 2. He's going to be looking for the triple, and that's going to be a big one coming out, as now the Vigar is going to be running for his life, as Kassadin going to be able to get the Quadra. Can he pick up the Penta?
Oh.
No, he didn't pick it up, as Quantum Plasma is going to be taking the Penta away. But what a play going to be coming out of AH7, picking up the Quadra. They're going to be getting this Drake, and they just turned this game around.
Yep. Now, after a play like that, I should be a little bit more hyped. But all I can think of about is the scumbag Wukong we see on our screen right now, denying his teammate the Penta. How dare he?
Literally. I am sorry. I don't care if it's a league match, whatever. I know he's probably saying, I'm securing the kill, man. Don't be mad at me. Nah, forget that. I would have had that easy, man. You got to go ahead and give me the Penta on stream? What? Oh, man, I'd be heated right now if I'm AH7. But either way, I mean, Kassadins, when they come online, it can be oh so lethal. And that, my friends, was a Kassadin with only 1 item. And now he's got his second with a maxed out. Oh, man, this is going to get spicy. I think that this Kassadin might be able to solo carry him back into this game.
Okay, so they did just get a gold lead right now, about 800 gold. And, like, just to break down that fight a little bit more, it was completely scattered. That fight was scattered no matter how you cut it. Everybody was fighting everyone else. And then there was just Kassadin going from one target to the next in sequential fashion and just running amok on everyone. So I definitely need to see more cohesive team fighting out of Pit State if they want to maintain their presence in this game. Because if they just scatter like that again, 100% Kassadin steamrolls them. But regardless, AH7 did a fantastic job there. And because of that fight, hit such a massive power spike. He is by far the strongest member in this game and should be able to burst down anyone. Because on that back, he not only finished his Seraphs, because he had a fully stacked tier, he also fully stacked his Darksteel, which I'm assuming he will turn into a Medjay's as soon as he can. But Solar Shot now is dropping the Rip down, and Pittsburgh is trying to reclaim the map in their favor.
Yeah, could be massive. There's going to be another engagement coming out here. The Wukong going to be going in. Gaston coming up behind him. Massive engages. Kaisa going to be going in massive now, as this is going to be a team wipe, at least it appears for now. As yes, Graves going to be able to secure it, not landing the hook yet again. Going to be keeping that Sej right here. And man, oh man, 3 are going to be dropping on the side of Pittsburgh. Emporia, they're just winning the team fights when they matter the most.
Ooh, and the disappointing thing is that Pittsburgh had vision in the Raptor pit of the Cassidy. So they knew Cassidy was there for the flank, but still, Quant pulled the trigger at the right time with a 4-man Cyclone, definitely setting it up for the Cassidy to get in there and get that damage across, because he definitely got that damage, picking up another kill in that team fight. It sets his team up now just under 3k gold. I believe it's about 2.8, 2.7, depending on, you know, who's farming the next minion wave. And so things, I don't want to, you know, say the sky is falling, but it looks like the sky could be falling here on Pittsburgh State.
Yeah, Gaston's going to need to get out of here for sure. He was out of mana. I mean, if he had a bunch of mana, poof, I mean, let's be honest, that Lulu was probably going to meet her maker, but now going to be giving this Gaston this blue buff, so the Gaston's going to be feeling extremely confident now walking around the map. He's going to be backing, and we got to see if he's going to be maxing this one out. I mean, if he maxes out this Dark Seal, it's already got 10 on it. This could be a serious scaling problem to deal with if you're Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Cassidy isn't even going to need to hit level 16 to be a menace. He's fully online. He picked up those kills just in time. And it's scary. This Cassidy is scary. There's no other way to put that, really. It's just a very scary Caspian, and the rest of his team is there to enable him. Aspin's been landing good ults, and Quant doesn't need to do anything but be a CC disruptor with his Cyclone. Get in there, land a CC, disrupt his team, so that way they can't focus down Caspian. So right now, Emporia is completely playing for Caspian. If they do not, I'm going to say they are trolling, because the Caspian is your win condition at this moment.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you look at your entire team, everyone's pretty much negative except for the Caston on your squad. So, I mean, the only other person is your support, 1, 1, and 8. That's even. So, I mean, really, it's all on the backs of this Caston. But the great thing is that Caston is the type of champion that can literally carry a game all by his lonesome. So, now, going to be some drag pressure coming out, as it is going to be Emporia setting this one up. They're clearing out the bushes.
Pittsburgh needs to leave right now. If Pittsburgh doesn't leave, they lose.
Oh, and this is going to be bad. The Sej is going to barely be able to get out. The cage going to be coming in from the V-Guard, not going to be able to find anything. And I mean, this drag's going to be going down, and this drag is going to be getting annihilated. Oof, and it's going to be an ocean drag yet again. If these oceans start to stack with the Cassidon along with it, I mean, early game was looking good for Pittsburgh, but once we hit mid-game, it's been all Emporia.
Yeah. So now that we have a little bit of downtime, because these teams will need to reset, regroup, and move their vision to the next objective, let's talk about items here. We don't see a mythic completed yet on Kaisa. I can understand with the build that she's going, so we'll get that out of the way. We do see the Serpent's Fangs on Graves, which is the champion who needed to build it, so that's good to see. But across the map here, across the division, we see the Ludens from the Karma, so definitely more AP burst, which at this point could backfire because they aren't ahead enough for that pick to work. But we also see the Moonstone Renewer onto Lulu. Now this item works when you can stay alive, otherwise you're not getting value out of it. So what I may have liked to see a tiny bit more would be the battle song, or Shirley's battle song, which will speed up her entire team, so that way they can just run away from the cast and avoid getting picked.
Yeah, running away from a Caston, I mean, that's easier said than done, man. I don't even know if a speed boost is really going to help y'all that much. I mean, that Caston, he's already got the Quadra. He was looking for the Penta. I'm going to give it to him, man. He got the Penta. The Wukong just stole it. I'm going to be honest. That was all him, so. I mean, but those 4 kills, I mean, he's only got 6 to his name, so those 4 are definitely a big chunk of the kills that he's been able to obtain so far. The question is, can he keep this rolling now as we approach late game scenarios? And you can see it's going to be a lot of splitting going to be coming out. Kasten is going to be taking a 1v2 in the top lane, but down here in the bot lane, this Wukong, he's going to be finding some trouble against this Karma and going to have to flash away. And that's a lot of respect going to be coming out against that Karma. I mean, the Babe doing a lot of bullying right now.
Yeah, up CS has roughly the same amount of kill participation as the Wukong, so it's really just like the CS gold difference on the Karma, which allows her to bully so much. The Ignite was perhaps a little early because there wasn't any way that would turn into a kill unless Quaint made an egregious error, but overall, Wukong definitely showing respect for the pick and has TP, so we can go right back to this bot lane where the Babe needs to rotate better with their team, because otherwise they get left in the side lane, because we saw that the Dragon fight. Kasten TP to it while the Babe had to walk down, so they had the man advantage, which is why they lost the Dragon, because they couldn't even position as 5 correctly. So definitely a little bit of teamwork needs to be shored up on the side of Pittsburgh, but they can adjust that on the fly. But still, someone, probably Arrow, needs to be in the side lane mashing the Kasten, because he's now 2 levels up, and Viger's the only one with a TP on the side of Pittsburgh.
I mean, looking at the side lanes, I mean, both lanes are going to be pushing in for this Emporia side, and now Wukong in the bot lane. This squad is going to be seeing this. Now the big question is, do you back or do you contest this Baron? And it looks like they're going to be backing, trying to stop this Wukong, but the Wukong going to be getting in a lot of damage on this tower. Damage might have already been dealt. And now that they're going to be backing, this might be a Baron pressure that could be coming out of Emporia State, as Kasten's going to be looking to pressure the top lane. I mean, right now, Emporia is looking extremely good right now, and it seems like they have all the map presence that they want.
Yeah, Emporia is controlling the map because they have the TPs. It enables them to do a 1-3-1 composition. Nobody can answer the Kasten right now effectively, so they have to send 2 to stop his push. So that means Wukong will probably be able to free farm. And right now, Pittsburgh is just being out-pressured across the map, because that's what's happening. And a little bit of this is due to the draft compositions that both sides opted into, but also the Babe chose Ignite. If the Babe had... Oh, this is the Kasten doing Kasten things, chasing down the Babe. The Babe does go into the Zanya as the Glacial Prison comes out, but still the Kasten bursts down the Babe. That is the TP at Arrow. They're really trying to chase down the Kasten. I wouldn't recommend this being the play to make, as Kasten just ults over the Baby Cage and is out. Hell, even Duels is there to try and make something work, and okay, the Kasten has no more mana. They should finally be able to lock him down if they can, but the Blast Cone is there, and they are throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at this Kasten, but they do get the pick. But at what cost, Rome? At what cost?
I mean, it might be at the cost of this dragon, and if this dragon gets melted on down, this could be a major problem right now. This could be Soul Point, and it's Ocean Soul Point, but it's going to be coming in and not going to be able to be stolen away by the Sedge. So it is going to be Soul Point, as now the Sedge is going to get blown to smithereens, or excuse me, wow, as the Nautilus is going to get blown to smithereens. So the side of Pittsburgh State, even though they drop the dragon, at least they get the kills on their side.
I think going for the dragon there was a bit of a greedy play out of Pittsburgh. They know they had the man advantage, so they figure that they might be able to get there in time and force them off. But because they were across the map, they weren't able to. But being across the map means they were at the Baron already. And if you know Emporia is at the dragon, you trade for the Baron there. Because that 3k gold from the Baron would basically even out the gold between the two teams and allow them to push back out.
But that's what I'm saying. The issue that they face is that they don't have enough damage on their team to take the Baron as quickly as they can take the Drag. That's the main issue that I feel like they would face right there.
I think because they were already there, they would have enough time. Because Kasten wasn't there, they would have that window. Because that would still be a 5v4. They could turn on it because they have more than enough shielding to tank the Baron for days.
Yeah.
That they could just take it at their own pace. So I think Pittsburgh should have gone Baron there if they really want to try and play the macro game. But instead they chose to try and stop a win condition that was already starting to snowball in favor of Emporia, and they didn't quite get it.
Yeah, I mean, and now this squad in Emporia, they're looking extremely good. 11-10 advantage. Their point off a Soul, but this could be disastrous as the combination is going to be leaving the Graves at 1 HP. Oh my gosh, the Graves going to be flashing away to barely survive. Kassadin going to be going in for more as he's hungry. He's going to be able to pick up the kill, and that's going to be a massive one as Kassadin now going to be backing. But if you look at the bottom, Wukong, he's going to be pressing the issue in the bot lane. So everyone is going to be splitting right now, trying to wreak havoc as the mid inhib did go down. Will they be trading it for another inhib? It looks like that is the case. Kassadin deciding to push away the top side as well. This squad is absolutely in chaos right now, and it seems like they're thriving.
Ooh. Pittsburgh definitely showing a little bit of chaos there. I wasn't expecting them to just be able to hard push mid and get the mid inhibitor there, because that buys so much pressure for them, especially because they were able to back in time to stop Quaint's take of the bottom inhibitor. It means that they came out ahead. Yeah. It still sucks that you lost your bot inhib tower, but that does buy pressure for the side of Pittsburgh. Now they can rotate to another lane. I would like to see them go top for the next minute, because that way they're closer to Baron if they win a team fight. But still, that play went in favor of Pittsburgh. The gold lead is now, what, 1,500, which is negligible at best. It's basically a T2 tower at this point and a couple minion waves, which isn't much.
Yeah, we got to see exactly if they're going to be able to capitalize on it right here. I mean, that advantage in the mid, as you stated, can be so massive pressure-wise. It's a lane you almost don't have to worry about. You know that that's going to be pushing into their base. So you really focus on these side lanes now. But all the focus in the side lane so far in this game have been on the side of Emporia, as it's going to be a mid pressure going to be coming out of Pittsburgh State. So even though they have mid, they're going to be opting to push it anyway, making the Kai'Sa flash. And I mean, honestly, the play is interesting. You push the mid, but then you immediately just have to turn around, so you end up getting nothing for it.
Ooh. I understand why they're continuing to push mid. By pushing mid, it forces both the Wukong and Kassadin to come back and help their team, because they're threatening to end. But what's happening is that they aren't able to find the pick needed to force them to fully recall. But we do start seeing the pings now onto Baron, and they could be looking at that as a viable objective. However, Soul Dragon is up on the map in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and at this point, Soul is really everything that's worth fighting about in this game specifically. I mean, you look at the Sej, she's going to be one, that Ocean Soul. You look at the Nautilus on one side, along with the Graves. For goodness sake, like, this squad, they have the healing for days if you're able to give it to them. And now the Curtain Call going to be coming out of the Jhin. Looks like both squads are going to be resetting for now, getting ready for this fight. Kassadin trying to dip on out of there. You can see now the Kai'Sa don't be getting caught now, as that pink is going to be coming out. Kassadin coming in, trying to save the day. Not flipping over. Ult going to be coming out. Player going to be going out, though. Kassadin, he's going to be looping around. And now Wukong's going to be coming in. Kassadin going to be coming in, making the massive play. That was the loop that they were looking for, but he's getting shut down. The Wukong looking to get taken out as well. As Kassadin still going to be alive. Still going to be a problem. Still going to be a menace on the map as he's able to get 3. Looking to get 4. Can he pick it up right now? As the Babe, he's going to be dipping out. And no, Babe is going to be able to shut him down. And that's going to be massive. And they're going to be taking him out, picking up this Ocean Drag. And now both squads are going to be on Ocean Point. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely incredible.
I don't even know what that fight was anymore, because Pittsburgh had such a good start to it. They had 3 members of Emporia trapped inside the pit with Dragon. They had no help, but Kassadin got out, got the flank, blew up a few members of Pittsburgh. However, Solar Shot stuck to Kassadin like white on rice, and that CC allowed the Babe to get the damage across, get the heals across, to survive, get the kill, which allowed them to kite out Quaint for the eventual dragon kill. And my oh my, that was a hectic fight. And also it evens up the gold state just a little bit more, as now it's only 500 gold difference between these two teams. 1 tower difference. Both have 3 dragons. Now Baron is the only objective up on the map, and mid inhibitor should be respawning soon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking at this one, it's going to be coming down through the wire, as you said. The game could not be any more even with these squads right now, but I mean, being on that Ocean Soul point is massive for both squads. This next fight at the next Dragon should honestly decide the game. I don't really see either one of these squads being able to challenge that Baron just quite yet. I think that we are going to be seeing a little bit of side lane action. These teams are just going to be resetting, trying to make sure they control the vision necessary around the Baron. That way they can at least contest it. And I think we're going to be seeing this pace slow down at least until the next Dragon.
It definitely needs to be more methodical, that's for sure. Cassian is already level 18, is basically full build. He just needs to finish his Void Staff. But it's scary territory for all these teams, and a great baby cage, and Bobscop almost getting first here. Now it's Axby who's getting focused. Quaint with the being poly, he won't be doing anything in the background right now. He's trying to get the Cyclone across. He isn't getting it down, so Aspen walks up, tries to get to the CC. The Monkey's blown up, the Nautilus is blown up, and now all eyes are on Zekin. Zekin is being dropped, but AH7, his presence alone forces Pittsburgh to take a moment and pause. Do they really want to keep going? The answer is yes. They push for the inhibitor. They want to end. It's 36 minutes in. They have 30 seconds to work with. They start on the first inhibitor tower. AH7 goes in. He gets great damage across, but he is CC chained up. The CC comes through, and Viger is able to find the burst to kill him. This should be game one going in favor of Pittsburgh. You wondered they had the damage. Well, the answer is yes, they do. And they pick up game one in just under 37 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I asked, did they have the damage to take out the Baron? They said, we don't even need to take out the Baron to win. We're just going to need to take out the players, catch them off guard, get them caught in our traps, and we'll be good to go. I mean, you saw the polymorph coming in at the very end on that cast, and I mean, just the clutch play is going to be coming out of this Pittsburgh squad. And I mean, hey, we said Pittsburgh, they're going to be looking to come out and get their first win of the season, and they definitely just did. I mean, that was an absolutely incredible showing coming out of them.
Yeah, you're right. Pittsburgh did such a great job. It was looking scary there when Casson had the pseudo pentakill. He hit 18 so quickly. He had such a strong build. But at the end of the day, it seems like CC is what wins games. And once your CC locked, it doesn't matter how much damage you have. You just can't get it across.
Precisely. I mean, big shout out to this squad in Pittsburgh for being able to come out on top in the clutch situations. I mean, 6 dragons got taken. No soul was acquired by either squads. I mean, that literally was as close as can be. 55,000 gold each up until that last fight. I mean, that one was a banger for sure. I'm excited for the rest of this series because, I mean, shoot, we might be seeing all 3 games for sure.
Yeah, we could easily be seeing all 3 games because that was a close one. It could go either way depending on how one team fight went. Unfortunately, it went in favor of Pittsburgh, who just forced a fight mid. So I'm definitely excited to see what lies for the future of both these teams right now.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fun. But, hey, listen, we will be back after this short break with this second game of the series. The first one was amazing. The second one will be impeccable. We'll be having a very short break, getting right back into the action shortly. Hello and welcome back to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I am here with Cyro alongside me, and we just had an extremely close game number 1, and I bet this game number 2 is going to be even crazier.
I hope not, because I don't know if my heart can handle it, because that game was back and forth like a ping pong ball on a table. It was way too close, way too often, and it swung way too many times for my liking, but it just means that it was a fun game to watch and cast with your own. So I don't know if I want the second series or second game to be as chaotic. I would like to see it a little bit more methodical out of both these teams, but if the game is enjoyable, I'm not going to complain.
Exactly. As long as we put on a show for us, that's all that matters right now. I mean, Pittsburgh right now, 1 game away from picking up their first win of the season. Starting out 0-1, they're definitely trying to tie things up record-wise with their record right now. And, you know, the other side, Emporia, currently down 0-1 in the series, facing an 0-1 hole in the league as well if they don't come out victorious in these next 2 maps. So, I mean, really, Emporia, they've just got to be able to clean up the small things to be able to come out victorious, because that was an extremely close game.
Yeah, and because it was so close, I was a little bit interested in AH7 because we saw the Castman pick come out, and because I looked into the stats a little bit, I believe he has a 100% win ratio so far in solo queue ranked on the champion, which is kind of insane. So I definitely understand why after seeing that performance, and that's definitely a ban I would like to see come out. So
I mean, yeah, that's how you know that things were effective if they're banned the next game. You see the Karma and the Sej going to be banned away. And then on the other side, it is going to be the Cassidon from the last game. So, I mean, you know, a lot of these squads are essentially saying, you know what, you were good on that champ. It messed me up. And now, you know, you're going to have to play something else. But it looks like right now, for now, it's going to be the side of Emporia State, switching things up, picking the Yasuo. And, I mean, anytime somebody picks a Yaz on my team, you're either going to go 1-50 or 50-1. And, you know, I'm excited to see which way this one's going to be going because, whew, man, Yaz is definitely one of the most exciting champions to watch in League.
well, as you say, the O10 power spike is a thing for a reason. Generally, that's when you hit the 2-item mark. But I believe, I forget what the exact name for this combination is, whether it's Last Moonfall or, you know, Moon Breath, whatever you want to call it. Either way, the Diana Yasuo is an extremely potent wombo combo. It is the latest iteration. Yeah, that's the word. Iteration of the Yasuo Wombo. It used to be with the Malphite, but now it's with the Diana, and it's still just as effective and scary. But we also see that the rest of the bans have been changed up. So the Karma was banned out, Sejuani banned Mundo and Vex. So we just saw how scary Solar Shot was in Sejuani. Great peel, and the Babe on Karma was definitely a lot to handle. And I can understand why that was banned out. So we also see the Wukong banned now. So Quant definitely not being able to go back to his monkey business. No more pentasealing with this champion, at least. And so we also see the Vigard come out and the Nautilus. So
they banned out each other's. Yeah, they banned out each other's entire last game pretty much. Like the Wukong and the Cass on one side, then the Karma, the Sej, the Vex, and the Vigar on the other side. So they are essentially, neither one of these teams were cool with how the other team was playing against them. So, I mean, that's a lot of respect going to be coming out of both of these squads right now.
Yeah, I think so far the only repeat champion is the Jhin. But then again, I think only 4 champions weren't banned out from last round anyways. So I'll be interested to see what the final pick is for Emporia, but it will be a new pick because the Wukong was banned. Okay, I'm going to say this Lux is mid. Janna support. Because if it's a Janna spike top...
Yeah, I was about to say, it could be a Janna top because, like, that's very in meta. And since the fact that they banned Karma, it's like, okay, you banned Karma, I'll just play Janna top since... I mean, that would make sense. And
it's a York.
So it's going to be York top, Janna bot, or Janna support, Lux mid. Yeah, that does make a lot more sense. And Lux going up against the Diana makes a lot of sense. Ooh, actually, it looks like it's going to be the Diana jungle, and it is going to be the Mord top. Okay, I thought they were
Yep.
going to send the Yaz up top for some reason. Okay, let's go. So we got a little bit more normal combinations coming out. But I mean, either way, I'm liking these. I'm liking this team comp, especially out of Pitt State.
Yeah, Pitt State definitely seems to be a little bit more of a traditional team comp with a split push top laner. So definitely opting into that style that Emporia was trying to force. Whereas Emporia, they have the split top laner as well, the Mordekaiser, who can also team fight but split very well. But they want to team fight. They are going to hard engage, and they have a very weak front line. Diana can soak some damage, but really, that's 4 squishies and then a bruiser who isn't going to be there most of the time, especially if he just deaths realm.
Yeah.
So, Emporia, squishy, high damage potential, and a high skill expression composition. So, Pitt State, 100% has the easier composition. You land the CC chain, you blow them up with the final spark, curtain call, force shot, whatever. And then you have the John of Appeal, so that way no one is getting onto you. And then you also have the Hecarim over top for the additional CC dive potential. So I think Pitt State, it feels like they have a better composition looking at the draft state as it is right now.
Oh, yeah, big time. This is going to be a good one for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we just saw the draft. You guys saw it here. It's going to be a good one. We're going to be getting right into the game real quick after this extremely, extremely short break. So don't go anywhere, as we'll be jumping right into the action as we get this delay set up for you guys. Hello and welcome back to the NECC Week 2 of League of Legends. I am here joined alongside Cyro, and this matchup between Emporia and Pittsburgh, I mean, it's going to be a good one for sure. That first matchup, it could have went either way, for real.
Yeah, either way is definitely putting it lightly, actually, because it was just way too back and forth. Like, every team fight swung the gold lead, basically. Even though Emporia did have gold lead for a fair amount of time, it never felt like they did. And as you said earlier, 6 dragons were taken in like a 37-minute match. So that definitely does make this question a little bit harder to answer. Is who would you predict for game 2? And would your overall prediction for the series change now?
I mean, honestly, this one's a toss-up for real. I mean, the side of Pittsburgh, they were able to clutch up, get the win. The way that Emporia was going crazy with their Kassadin, now that Kassadin's banned, I mean, aside from the Kassadin, they didn't look all that hot. So, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to close this one out simply because they were able to ban away that one champ that was so prevalent, and now they got to deal with the situation where, you know, they can't have that Kassadin to rely on. So, I mean, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh State in this game number 2.
Oh, going with Pittsburgh now. I know earlier you had Euphoria to win it, but now you've swapped over to Pittsburgh, where I had Pittsburgh at least picking up 1 win. So they've done that. They've met my expectation. And now if Euphoria is going to prove me right and prove me to be a genius at predictions, they need to reverse sweep Pittsburgh, which will be a tall order because they do have a high damage composition, but it is weak. So it's all about the execution and not feeding early. And so with that, I'm actually going to give the edge to Pittsburgh. They have a little bit easier to execute team comp. And I think, well, I know that York in a side lane is an absolute pain to deal with. Between his ultimate and Hull Breaker, he should be able to split push to infinity and beyond. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Why does York have to be able to split push so good?
I mean, we know how good of a split pusher York can be. As you stated, once he gets that hole breaker, things can really get popping up there in that top lane. You look up after a team fight and your whole inhib's gone. You're like, wait, what happened? Like, yeah, as you stated, it could be so quick. Get that hole breaker, get that Triforce, whatever. It almost seems like whatever build York goes up there, it's good to just destroy all the towers. So, you know, I'm excited to see how this one's going to be starting off, as we're going to be kicking off into the Rift right now, as we're going to be seeing no real funny business coming out. It's just going to be a nice smooth line going to be coming out of each squad.
Interesting. I was not expecting York to start tier. Of all the items, that was not what I was expecting. But we do see a rough 5-point start for each teams. But yeah, that tier, it's interesting.
I mean, one thing that I have noticed about Yorix is that they do run out of mana very early on. So, I mean, him going with the tier right here, I guess I'm saying that, you know, he's just going to be spamming as much as he can, just spamming those utilities. I mean, it definitely helps you for sure in the early game for certain champs. We just got to see if it's going to pay off right here because, I mean, as you stated, normally, you know, York doesn't start the tier. Normally he does have that extra damage along with him. So will Mordekaiser be able to, oh, this might be spicy. Will Mordekaiser be able to get the best of him up there? And will Zekin be able to get this early kill onto this Jhin? You can see them in the bot lane. But I think that Naughty, I think that he sniffed it out.
Yeah, this is a little bit interesting because Jhin didn't leash either. But he steps up here and he is getting burst down by Zekin, and that's half his health just gone.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that Zekin didn't get the 3 melee CS, so maybe worth, because that's a 60 gold deficit right there, and these things do pile up fairly early. But still, that does buy Emporia, which is on red side, lane pressure for the time being.
Yeah, and they already made the Jhin burn 2 of his potions, which can be so massive for that sustain. Level 2 going to be coming out of Zekin. They're going to be feeling extremely good in this bot lane for now. That is going to be a very lethal combo to deal with for sure. You can see right now the Babe and Quant going to be feeling each other out right now. So just trying to understand exactly how aggressive they can be in lane against each other. I mean, you know, it's a whole new matchup with these two opponents right here. And so it's really going to be about, okay, you played your last champ well. How well can you play this one?
Yep. And yeah, this is just a bruiser top lane. I don't think either one should die until level 6, and then it will be a little bit of a skill matchup to see if the Babe will save his ultimate, the Maiden of the Mist, until after being Death Realm. Because if he uses it before, I don't think it's brought into the Death Realm as well. Now we see Solo Shot up there with the Heck Realm, and this could be a dead Quant who does flash immediately and should be okay here, despite Solo Shot popping Ghost.
Yeah, he should be fine. I don't think the Heckram's going to be able to chunk him. And but this is the thing, is that if that Mord does not back, which he is going to decide to do, he's going to be very susceptible to another gank. But instead, he's going to be back and using that TP smartly, coming back to this lane. But the Diana Yas combo, as you stated, it might be collapsing onto this Lux. But in the bot lane, Zekin is going to be able to go in on Duel. Not able to finish him off, though. Duel's going to be surviving underneath the tower.
Yeah, and that is the power of Duel's heal with Vajana. The Tornado alone is great at healing someone up, especially when you have Glacial on top of that. It does so much damage reduction that it's annoying to deal with, to say the least, but that AoE slow on top of it, it just really makes it a little too strong. But enough said about that. We do see the Babe farming safely top lane. He does have the push here and looking to reset himself. I think he should crash the wave before he backs, though.
I mean, right now it's just a massive CS lead in the top, 28-12, and now we got a wild Heckram, but that Gen stun gonna be coming through. Lux not gonna be able to make it connect, but guess what that one is? And now Heckram gonna be coming in, seeing if he can clean up all the snacks. As they're going to be burning another flash from Aspian. Flash is coming out, trying to secure it. Stun, going to be locking him away. And yes, it's going to be Naughty. He's feeling good, feeling dirty, doing him dirty. As they're going to be going up 2-0 after the first blood.
Okay, I don't think it would have mattered. But Aspian held on to heal that entire time.
Oh, no.
So that may have saved them. That may have saved them. But just because that fourth shot killed Aspian there and not the Lux binding, I think the Lux binding may have had enough damage on top to kill despite the heal. But if they use the kill right away to use the speed boost to get out of it, they probably survive. But instead, it's Pittsburgh picking up 2 kills there, getting first dragon, that Mountain Soul, or not Soul, I misspoke a little bit early there for the dragons, but that Mountain Dragon will come in handy.
Oh yeah, big time. Especially for that Yorick up there in that top lane against this Mord. And now it's going to be the Mord at level 5, trying to do a little bit of damage. Yaz does finally hit level 6, so that Lux is going to need to watch out. Play a little bit passive till she reaches 6 herself. I'm not sure this Yaz is confident enough to really dive this Lux right now. Now you are going to see it's Mord in the top lane who is going to be hitting that 6 first. So he's going to be trying to send him into the Shadow Realm. You can see he wants the fight, but it's not going to be Yorick giving it to him, and that's a smart thing to do out of Yorick right now. Just play smart, get your farm up, use your tier to your advantage, and just play safe.
Yep, and I think if Quant pulled the Babe into the Death Realm right now, it would backfire because of the pickaxe on the Babe, but this is a level 4 Heckram trying to pick a fight with a level 6 Mordekaiser, and I don't think that's a good idea. So Solo Shot does get taken to the Death Realm, should survive long enough to escape. Now it's up if Babe can get there in time. Unfortunately not, and now Age 7 is there with the Yasuo, and the Babe could be in danger here.
It is going to be Lux trying to equalize things, but that's not going to be enough whatsoever, as the Babe going to be dropping from up top. I mean, the Babe was doing so good up there up until that moment, you know, just got a little bit too greedy going for the chase in the river. Ended up coming back to bite them, and now they're going to need a reset. There's going to be Zekin going in, getting busy, feeling extremely good, but Janna going to be keeping this Jhin nice and healthy. Oh, big shot going to be coming out of the Jhin there, as he's starting to get really chunky right now down in the bot lane. And the Jhin did get armor as well, as you can see, so not sure if that's going to be going toward his boots, or if maybe he's going to be building some new type of Jhin build. We'll just have to wait and find out.
that will probably go into steel caps just because of Yasuo and Samira. It's a worthwhile buy. It will mean he's a little bit weaker overall against the Diana and the Mordekaiser, but that shouldn't be an issue. I'm saying that very tentatively. It shouldn't be an issue with correct positioning. But overall, I don't mind the cloth armor pickup there. But a great bubble out of Aspian there. And that does force Boone to back off. So lane priority definitely favoring Emporia right now.
I mean, right now, you know, looking at both of these squads, I mean, Emporia in the red. I mean, they're playing a solid game for now. But honestly, Pittsburgh, I like the way that they're set up right now in this early game. It seems like they understand what their comp needs to do, and that's just to stall out, play this late game side push game with this Yorick is, ooh, man. Karma is going to get caught, but I think she's going to be getting out okay. Or not Karma, excuse me. This Nami is going to get caught. She's going to get out okay. Ooh. And now it's going to be Samira going on in, trying to make the play happen. It's going to be a 4-on-1. The Yaz going to be trying to come in, going crazy. Samira picking up one. They're not going to worry about the second, because they're going to be equalizing this 2-2.
Yeah, now that was the flash out of duels there. So overall worthwhile. And yeah, overall worthwhile. It was just the exhaust heal out of the Emporia bot lane there. So great pickup, great roam down. It felt like there was a lot invested, not really, but this could be a kill on duels still. But a great tornado buys time. Arrow there with a good CC chain on Bop, and that should buy a little bit of jungle pressure, but we see that Solar Shot is top. H7 trying to trade on Arrow. Not much will come of that. And overall, Emporia is starting to eke out a little bit of a gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, down low in the bot lane, Janna, she almost died, and then up top, the Hecarim, he ganked that Mordekaiser yet again, forcing out his flash. So now, with no flash in the top lane, I mean, this Yorick is going to be feeling very good as he's getting the Rift Herald right now. But while that's going on, it's going to be the curtain call coming in, and that's going to go along with this Lux. But Lux is going to be whiffing on her ult, unfortunate. And now Solar, the Hecarim, is he going to be able to 1v2 this? I don't think so, as he's going to need to get on out of here, as there are going to be the reinforcements coming in, but not before the Rift Herald does eventually get taken by this Yorick, which is going to be a massive pickup for them.
Yeah, that is a lot of Sohu lane pressure now from the side of Yorick. I say he holds on to it just for a little while so he gets the extra resets in with the reduced back timer. And also, his team is picking up the dragon across the map as well. So that's all objectives going over to the side of Pittsburgh right now.
Wow.
And they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is just a great way to start the game. Even if it's even in the kills, anytime that you're up in the objectives, I mean, up 3 objectives to none right now. 1 Rift Herald, 2 Dragons. This is just a great game coming out of the Hecarim altogether to be able to give them this lead. I mean, the Yorick was able to solo the Rift up top. That's also massive. So, I mean, we talked about it, how dominant a Yorick up there can be, and you see the Yorick's build. Poof! That hole breaker is coming, baby.
Yeah, and Emporia is still up 1,000 gold, give or take. And I'm going to say most of that is from the tower plates and a little bit of a CS lead. But overall, this is a much closer game state than it was last time around. And I'm here for it. The Babe is doing excellent things on Yorick so far. Definitely stacking towards his potential as a split pusher, especially with the Rift Herald. I think he could drop it at any time, but ideally, I would like to see Solar Shot come top, force Quant to back, and then drop Rift Herald and try and secure the entire tower.
And a little bit of an engagement right now is going to be coming out. He did flash out. Right now, Mord, he's on the hunt. And now extremely low is going to be the Babe. But guess what? Quant is going to understand that he cannot chase any further. Unfortunate. So the Babe going to be escaping barely. This is life with this one. I mean, he still has the Rift. And now are they going to be challenging this with this Hecarim up here? I mean, they could definitely get some easy tower damage.
Yeah, and Quant is back as well. This could be the tower
wow.
over to
Why would
the side of Pittsburgh right now.
I don't know
He was
why
being
he would.
dope.
I don't know why he would back in that situation unless he has faith that Yaz is going to be able to get there in time. But the Namiel going to be coming in. Ooh, but that's a great use to get over the wall. Ooh, but unfortunate, Nami's still going to be able to pick up that kill. And yes, the Yaoso was able to get up there in time. So that's what I was wondering. Because, I mean, letting them just get the tower, that would have been absolutely tragic for sure. But either way, just a 1-kill advantage right now for the side of Emporia.
Yeah, just a 1-kill advantage. But because they were able to prevent the tower from going down, and Solar Shot here could be getting picked, can't quite find his way out. Still has the Onslaught of Shadows to get out if he really needs to. But I think he should be okay. Now, it's going to be up to Zekin and Aspian here to be the ones to carry. There is now a significant CS lead on the Samira that it matters, and they have the additional tower plate gold.
Right now, the Babe just trying to trade up top, trying to get in as much damage as possible before potentially going in. I mean, right now, it's just really passive play coming out of both top laners. I mean, it seems like right now the Babe is just waiting for an opening to be able to split push, but Quant just isn't given any room to breathe up here. There's always been someone at that tower making sure they aren't going to be getting any free damage.
Yep. And so we do see Bot now hovering that top side. Could look to gank the York here, but the York does have a completed Hull Breaker, which means he will get the extra stats when another enemy champion is there. So a little bit harder to gank him now, but still possible. He does have vision up, so the Babe should be safe overall. So I think the Bop on the Diana still needs to play towards the Yasuo and the bot lane, because I don't think you're beating the York anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, right now you can see the power of the Yorick, but not into a Mord like this. And if Mord can... Oh, Mord! Gonna be missing that. This could be unfortunate right here. He's gonna be winning this one. It's gonna be Mord getting the better. But I mean, not before that first tower does be going down, so that's gonna be a lot of gold going over to the Yorick regardless. And now, the combination of the Yaz is not going to be enough as he gets taken out by the Hecarim Lux.
Yeah, Solo Shot with a great Onslaught of Shadows there to fear AH7 into the Elusive Similarity from the Lux. And now it could be a gank onto Zekin here, but I think they're safe and can just walk out. But it's Bop now with the crown that got popped. He's looking for an engage, can't quite find it. Arrow is there for the backup. So I think both these teams right now are just standing or doing a little bit of a face-off. But Solar Shot wants this, and Bop could opt into this, but I think not, as both his teammates are running the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job of zoning them off right now, and right before the drag. We'll see. Is Yorick going to be able to contest this? Looks like he is. We got ourselves a nice 1v1. And I mean, I think right now Yorick in pretty good position to win this one. Question is, can you clutch up? And yes, he is going to be able to, but now the drag is going to be heading over to this Emporia squad. I mean, at the end of the day, Emporia going to be getting their first drag, which is massive.
It definitely buys some time to scale, that's for sure. However, the gap in terms of the gold lead is shrinking bit by bit. It's now 300 gold, and that's basically because everyone on the side of Pittsburgh is reset. So they just aren't getting gold. The first tower definitely helps their case, but it has already been answered top lane. So this Yorick is sitting pretty right now. And I believe picked up a solo kill on the Mordekaiser. If I'm not mistaken, we missed a solo kill on the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-4. It appears that way. You know, he was able to get a kill, so it seems like he was able to pick up one, which is going to be massive. I mean, anytime that a Yorick can start to turn those tides, and he's getting even more cooldown built right now, more AD with cooldown, like he's going to be ripping these towers to shreds. So right now, if I'm the Mordekaiser, I understand the situation. And the situation right now is stay in your lane or else your tower is going to be gone.
Yep. York is going to start putting that pressure, and as you said, if they leave it like last game, except in the reverse situation, the Babe is going to take your base. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Emporia, but that is something they have to be aware of. So Mordekaiser does have the Riftmaker complete, so his dueling potential is on point now. He also has the plated steel caps, so we should be able to duel the Babe just fine. But we won't really know until we see another 1v1 occur. However, we do see the 80 carries already being swapped to the mid lane. And AH7 once again getting that early solo XP and gold in the bot lane.
Because right now, I mean, AH7, if he's not on Cass, he's on Yas. So, I mean, he definitely wants to carry. You can tell that just by his champion selection. You know, he wants to be that player to absolutely roll the enemy team. I mean, he's got the most CS here in this game right now by far. So, if he can just keep this up, he's going to be in great position to really put out some crazy damage in the late game against the squad.
Yeah, late game damage is always something that you need to take into consideration and how you get there. So we do actually see the Mana Mune come out for the Yorick. I was wondering if he was going to complete the item itself. He does. So that is going to be a fair amount of damage. We do see Hecarim now pick up the tier. I think it's a little bit late to get the tier, but right now we do have to watch this 1v1. Does flash out of the grass there. Swansea is getting bullied pretty hard, but the Babe does have the return damage here and does win the 1v1. My oh my, this is a death flag if I've ever seen one, because once you can no longer stop your enemy in the 1v1, it becomes a losing situation for your team because you constantly have to pull a second person up to stop them. Otherwise, it's just going to be a slowed bleed situation.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you know, you normally see them just get the tier and just be happy with that extra mana that they'll have for the rest of the game, but it looks like he's not feeling it. The Babe said, you know what, I'm going to fully upgrade this one, as he turned it into a full-blown item, and as I said, you blink and it's gone. They're tier 2. It's out of here.
Wait, I'm just looking at the items now, and Yorick has the second Rift Herald again.
Yeah, he
has
was able
Rift
to.
Herald.
Yeah, he was able to pick up the second rift. So now he's going to have about another minute to work with, a minute and a half or so to get back up to that top lane. He also has TP available. So anytime that Mordekaiser leaves that top lane, he's going to simply TP up there, push that wave, drop the rift, and try to break into the base. Either that or he's going to split push and potentially TP back up and cross map. Regardless, I like the way this Yorick is playing. This Yorick is playing 110% for the split push, even getting a quick silver stash. Like, oh my, like, anytime you get a quick silver and you're split pushing, that just means you do want to be unbothered. He is literally looking to be unbothered in this side lane.
No. Yeah, unbothered there. It's cute, it's scary because he has a QSS. He's going to ruffle up the 1v1 now, and he's now in the bot lane. And I think he's still strong enough to face the Yasuo. The Yasuo is only on one item right now, but is up in farm. So the item discrepancy is probably going to go in favor of Yorick. The Rift Herald gets dropped. This tower should drop as well, as we do see the rest of Emporia try to get bot here to support their mid laner.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, right now it's going to be a massive team fight for this dragon, as this is going to be Hecarim going in, slicing and dicing in the back line, trying to cut down the Samira, but that is going to be a massive ult from the Janna. It is going to be coming out right there, right now, but that's going to be Diana getting blown up, trying to make a play, and it ended up backfiring on her. Now this could be the drag heading over to the Pittsburgh side, even though right now Mordekaiser, you're split pushing, but you can't split push like a Yorick, baby. Is that Yorick? He's going to be TP on back, letting you know that you're not going to be taking any towers on my watch. And now that Mordekaiser split push is going to be absolutely useless, as you gave up the dragon, you gave up some kill, you gave up the kill, and I mean now you gave up the even game that you were looking at.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh's finally with their first definitive lead of this series, I'll say. And they're looking strong. They have 3 dragons again. It is an aerosol, so it's not the greatest. But that cooldown reduction, especially on the ultimate, is absolutely massive for the Babe. Because the more maidens you spawn, the more towers you take. And it just enables the Yorick a lot. But AH7 going hard onto Arrow here. And Arrow just drops.
Yeah, and this could be an issue right now. We already know what a Yasuo can do. I mean, listen, if you're going to play Kassadin and drop literally almost 2 pentakills in one game, I mean, if you're moving on to Yaz, you could probably have the same potential of doing it there. And now it's going to be this Hecarim down there in the bot lane with the 1v1 against the Yaz. And we also got the Yorick going up against the 1v1 in the top against the Mord pretty soon. So, I mean, really, it's just going to be all about who's going to be winning these engagements when they decide to take them, because it's a 6-5 game, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Yorick is doing a great job of splitting, but at the end of the day, they're on soul point as well. They got the extra movement speed. If they let these dragons go, that is the only way that Emporia are going to be able to get back in this, in all honesty, is if they start getting these dragons on their side.
They need a pick play. If they get a good pick play, they can win a fight. They haven't landed the Diana-Yasuo combo yet, or at least we haven't seen it. So that is definitely one area that they need to improve. They need to play to their win condition, but forcing Yasuo into the side lane probably isn't going to enable that win condition very well, but it does get the Yasuo ahead.
I mean, the thing is that the Yaz might be the only person that can 1v1 this Yorick right now. If he takes this fight right, it all depends on how good AH7 is at this champ. He's got a lot of minions to deal with. He does have a little bit of life drain, but no, the Babe gonna be coming in clutch. The Hull Breaker gonna be breaking the back of that Yaz, making him flash away. Is going to be the Yorick. As I guess he thought that Diana was going to be able to one-shot him. I guess that's just a lot of respect coming out for that Diana. So, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, solid play coming out of the Babe, and they're going to be forcing the Baron. This could be the winning play for the Pittsburgh State squad.
Yeah, and the Babe staying alive there forces Diana to stay there as well. Because if Diana is suddenly able to leave bot to go to Baron, this could be a Baron contestation here, but it's not. So Aspian does get a ward, will try to steal it with Wave, but the secure comes out from Solar Shot, and just like that, they're now up 3k gold from the side of Pittsburgh, and they're definitely looking strong with this lead.
Right now in the side lanes, it is looking rough right now for this Mordekaiser. Every single time that he takes an engagement against this Yorick, it has just not went his way. And I mean, now can this squad in Emporia push this mid, get this pressure onto this mid tower right now, potentially take it? Looks like they might be able to before they get here, and yes, they're going to be able to chunk it down. That's actually going to be big for their potential map control. But if you look at the bot lane, that Yorick, he's going to be bullying onto that Mordekaiser, and I mean, he's already 16. He's not even worried about the Mord. The Mord gonna send him into the Shadow Realm. And now, I mean, this Yorick is just chunking the tower, chunking the Mord, everything. Like, hey, oh my goodness, they're gonna need to send someone to go help. And yeah, they're sending the Yaz to go help him out. And oof. Right now, what do you do if you're Emporia?
Well, probably the only thing you can do is probably 5-man the Mordekaiser, kill him, snowball that into an objective or a team fight elsewhere. But that might not even work depending on how much you use to kill the Yorick.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I mean, now with this dragon up in about 15 seconds, it's really going to come down to the team coordination. It's going to come down to who can hit this smite. I mean, all players are alive and well. They're going to be meeting up by this dragon, but it looks as if for now... Ooh, we're going to be getting a base race situation. Well, not really a base race, more of a trade. As they say, we'll give up that second air drag, but we're going to be taking your entire mid. And I mean, this is a great trade if on the side of Pittsburgh. Not only do you have the Baron pushing, you've also got a Hecarim on your team. So anytime that you can break into the base, oh, this is going to be massive. You're giving up that drag all day for mid, and now they've cracked open the base, giving their Yorick a big opportunity now to absolutely wreak havoc. And now the Yorick's going to be pushing this bot lane and just getting ready to just do literally whatever he wants on the map now that that base has been cracked. That is unfortunate for the side of Emporia.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh should stay top here and siege this top tower, so that way York can continue the Baron push bot, because he will get these towers. They can't stop him solo. So we do see Pittsburgh staying top, which is what I wanted to see. Quant can't handle the Babe at all, And the Maid on the Mist is so much damage to towers right now that this could be game-winning plays coming out of Pittsburgh right here, right now. And it's looking good. But the Babe does pull back, so it does leave a little bit of an opportunity for Emporia to take a 5v4 fight top. But they do need to land their wombo.
Oh my god, he's going bot. Yorick is going bot again, and he's full HP. Someone's going to need to stop him, or else this is going to be an inhib. He's going to be taking this one quick. He's got Hull Breaker, 2 Qs, and guess what? That whole turret is gonzo. Ladies and gentlemen, they're sending 3 to stop him, but anytime you send 3 to stop, that means you got a 4v2 at the top, and they're going to be taking this top tower with ease, ladies and gentlemen, as the Yorick is doing his job, understanding, guess what? It takes a couple to take me out, so we're going to be putting my whole team at an advantage. It's a beautiful, beautiful play from the Lux to stall them out. And I mean, now they've cracked the base in every shape, every way, every form. All that's left is 3 measly inhibs, and that Yorick, he's smelling blood in the water.
Yeah, and this is what Emporia was trying to do last game to Pittsburgh. Play the map, play the macro, and beat them with the split push. But Pittsburgh right now is taking Emporia to school and showing them how it's done. Because the Babe, well, he really is the Babe in this game. And a great team fight top. They almost have the one combo there, but Duel stays alive. And now it's a team fight. Zekin is trying to get a kill here, but the Monsoon comes out from Duel to keep him alive, and Diana drops there in that upper portion of the fight. Zekin is still alive. Solo Shot is just wailing away on the inhibitor. And that will be the top inhibitor going down, but the Babe is taking Nexus Towers. This is probably the game right here, people. And Zekin is trying to make it to the fountain, but he will not. The Curtain Call is going to try and rain or close the curtain down on Aspian, but instead it's the Nexus going down, and Pittsburgh picks up the 2-0 series sweep over Emporia.
Solid plays out of Pittsburgh, you know, simple as that. The split pushing said the name of the game. We said that they understood how they needed to play. They just needed to play back, let their Yorick do what he needed to do in the side lanes, and it worked out perfectly. Anytime he took a 1v1, he was able to win it. Anytime that he draw 2 or 3 people to his side, his teammates were able to make plays off of it. I mean, that's what you want out of a split pusher. You want to be able to draw attention and have your team be able to get an advantage somewhere else on the map. He did it multiple times, whether it was Baron, Dragon, didn't matter. That was literally all on the Yorick right there. Big props to Pittsburgh coming out.
Yeah, the best thing there was that the Babe, whatever he drew that attention, he backed off. He gave his opponents the respect. So he was never giving anything back. And that was the best thing about seeing the Babe on this Yorick, was that he did play it to a T. He dug the graves for his enemy there. And yeah, as you said, huge props to the Babe. But also, the entire team out of Pittsburgh played well, played to the win condition. And yeah, they just did a great job overall and closed that game out cleanly.
Yeah, big time, you know, closing out that game and closing out the series as well in 2-0 fashion. I mean, you know, both games, you know, they were pretty close for a while, but it just seemed like Pittsburgh, you know, once it started to hit that late game, you know, things just started to go in their way. This time it ended up being the mid game where it just honestly, it just fell over in their favor. But regardless, I mean, Pittsburgh coming out strong, able to get their first win of this season. And I know they're going to be happy about it after taking a very rough 2-1 loss in week 1. So big props to them. On the other side, Emporia State, you just got to go back to the drawing board. You're starting your season 0-1. You're going to need to come back in week 3 and just get things together. But I think they'll be able to do it.
Oh yeah, Emporia will definitely be able to get it together, because that game 1 just showed they had the potential to win this series. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way, but I fully believe they are capable of coming back, and the future weeks will definitely pick up wins. But as you said, great job to Pittsburgh. They had a rough early start, but this series, they definitely showed promise. They showed potential, and they capitalized on it, winning in a 2-0 fashion. So Pittsburgh, you definitely impressed me tonight.
Big time, you know, impressive stuff coming out of the NECC yet again. You know, it's been an absolute pleasure being here casting alongside you. You know, Cyro, first time casting alongside you, it was a treat, I gotta say.
Yes, it was definitely my pleasure as well, because as they say, all roads lead to Rome, and well, here I am. So it was just as much of my pleasure being here with you tonight, man.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Big shout out to NECC for having us both, and hope we can come back yet again. It was an absolute pleasure. And listen, guys, you guys aren't going to want to be here next week. You guys see the games. You aren't going to want to miss them. They're exciting. They're fast paced. They're high octane action. And I mean, listen, I'm going to be excited next week as well. I mean, seeing the way these teams are going to be progressing throughout the season, it's going to be incredible. So you guys aren't going to be wanting to miss it at all. We'll see you guys next week, because we're going to be right on back with another week. It's going to be awesome. Don't go anywhere.